dude?
What's up, man?
Not much, man. Welcome to this studio is actually officially called the Dog House.
Dog House.
Welcome to
Dog House Studios.
That's right.
Sick, man.
Puppy Media, right?
He's really dope.
Yes, sir.
I got my boy Leland.
What up, Lee?
What's up, fellas?
I actually did that on the last, just when we were fucking around with the audio, because these are all like pretty much brand new cameras.
Okay.
So I dropped that Leland. I'm like, oh, I got to use that now. That's it. That's the
That's
call.
the tag right there.
Right there.
It is.
We're going to start doing shirts with Leland's fucking name on it.
I like it.
Anyway, how you been?
I've been good. Life is crazy, as always.
I'm going to say, you and I haven't talked since, what,
Before,
6, 7 years?
Yeah, before I moved to Reno, for sure. Was that last time I saw you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved to Reno, 7 years ago now? And then came back 2 years ago now. And this past 2 years of being back in Salt Lake has been insane.
Good or bad?
Like, just both, I guess.
Because you got married, right?
Yeah, got married while living in Reno. Was there like for this job. I was the OSHA inspector pretty much for like Tesla. We were building the Gigafactory, and it just wasn't working out being so far away from family.
Yeah.
It's like I gotta come home.
How your parents doing? I haven't seen them since we were in fucking high school 20 years ago.
Yeah, they're up in Washington right now. It's awesome. My dad, they both lived up there. They have a really dope house now, and
Are they on the coast or?
inland, like near Portland.
Oh, okay. So Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon.
Okay.
But it's Washington though. It's like across.
So
the
they're
bridge,
just
I guess.
barely over.
Yeah.
So are they in the forest area?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
A lot of people don't
It's
know
so
that
nice.
like half of fucking Washington is desert.
Yeah, yep. But this is like moist. It's beautiful. It's sap everywhere, or moss everywhere. It's awesome.
Right on.
So cool. Yeah, they're doing good, but moving back home has been insane. It's been a process because I quit a job where I was doing pretty well for myself, and I mean, being a safety inspector, you make some good money, and then come home and then try to find that job again. It's so hard to find.
Right. Because you ventured into other things, like you're in real estate now, right?
Yep, I got my license. That was a main goal moving back home, is get that license. I wanted to be in that field. Building homes has like always been a thing for mine of mine, and now it's like I get to sell them too. It's pretty sick.
How is that business?
Hard,
I bet.
very hard. I picked the worst time to become a realtor ever. Like just after I guess after COVID, because everyone was like, "It's the greatest job ever. I'm selling so many houses. Interest rates 2%. You know, everyone wants a house."
You jump in at 6.
Yeah, I jump in at 6. Everyone's like, "We're gonna never buy again. No refis, nothing. We're good. We're chilling."
I know. I'm like personally waiting for the market to crash,
Dude, don't waste your time. It's not going to, especially in Salt Lake City at least.
but I ain't paying no 6 fucking percent on interest.
No, and that's understandable too. There's a lot of ways around that too. So we'll get into that.
So, like, I mean, I've looked into real estate school back when I was younger, trying to search out what I was, wanting to do.
Yeah,
Real estate just seems hard because there's so many real estate agents.
so many agents. Yeah,
But, I mean, you never know until you try. I mean, like,
100%.
I mean, me and, Lee talk about these projects that we have going on with this, being one of them.
Yeah,
And really, at the end of the day, you just got to do it.
100%.
You know.
Just go, just do it. I mean, I've sold now in the 2 years. I've done four transactions, four homes, just representing buyers, and it's the most rewarding thing, like for me. It's just awesome to be able to get somebody in an opportunity where they're like, wow, this is mine.
Right.
Holy cow, I get to go home to my house every day.
Right.
Every mortgage payment is like your savings account.
Who are you tied to?
My brokerage is Exit.
Exit? Mm-hmm. I think I've seen them a lot. That's a big one, right?
Yeah, they're pretty big. They're in every state pretty much. So.
Do they feed you leads, or is it just like
Some, yeah, they definitely help me with it a little bit, but it's mostly it's pretty much like your own business, like realtors don't really help realtors because it's like, well, that would
dog eat
I would
dog
just,
world.
yeah, I would just help them myself.
Right. Right. What do you think is one of the hardest parts about the whole real estate deal? Because I know there's like people, like we know, I'm not going to drop a name or anything because I don't want to like potentially embarrass this person, but we know someone and their wife was trying to get into it and it didn't go anywhere.
Right. Well, and that's the thing with it, like, it's just a license, right? You have to exercise it then. So, I mean, with any certification, like you go in there, you have to actually put the work in. All the realtors at Exit, they recommend like door knocking, things like that, getting out there and doing that. But it's like, how do you do that when you also need to work a job full time and like have revenue coming in to feed a family and like balance that? Like, what's that process? And it's just so hard to build.
Right. I mean, unless you have money in the bank or you've done relatively well for yourself to make that hard pivot into something where you.
Yeah. There's going to be no income for 6 months. Let's just try this.
Right.
And
Right.
roll that dice. Yeah, good luck. You know what I mean? Like, that's insane to me. And, like, that was essentially, I sold a condo out in Reno, and I just floated myself through school. I was able to do that. Then got my license, and then kind of just dove into the market. And it was like, okay, something's got to happen. Something's got to happen. I know too many people in Salt Lake. You know what I mean? I've got to be. It's just kind of like building that brand, though. Like,
right.
Everyone knows me as like the skateboard kid, or that playing like the local rec league football or whatever bull,
I know you as an entrepreneur, though.
Yeah,
I love when you were doing like your clothing line and
clothing
shit.
too, yeah.
We'll get into that because I actually have questions because I know it's something like me and Lee have talked about for all of our different projects of like how do you go about getting the clothing line.
Oh man, yeah.
But we'll visit that here in a bit.
Yeah, we got that. We can pivot that way anytime. I've done a lot of stuff.
You have, dude. Like it's always like. It don't like not in a bad way, but it's like it's always something. Like you always have some shit going on, which is cool though because like I feel like, with the exception of maybe like a handful of people we both know, like you've lived a life.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like it seems like you've been like a nomad. You've done the skating thing, like you said, the football thing. You were doing the hip hop thing there for a while.
Yeah.
Now you're into real estate. Now you got your day job. What are you doing for your day job?
I work in a warehouse.
Okay,
Essentially, like the warehouse, we just house like all the cabinets for condos.
Okay.
So essentially, that's just another connection that I have like as a realtor. Like if we need cabinets for the house, like we can supply them.
Well, if you ever want to do like promo video type shit, let me know because we're always looking to expand into different things as well.
I want to get into shooting real estate too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That's one thing I wanted to come on here and like hopefully drum up some more biz too for that, because I mean with realty it's been hard because guys like you and I, like it's hard to like be like, oh cool, I'll just deal with this 6-7% interest rate,
Right.
but it's especially, I mean, you can have a decent income, but then you're like, oh cool, you qualify for this $350,000 house, but there's so few that are at $350,000.
Right.
So you're either you could get a gem, or you're probably going to get something that needs a lot of work.
Or fixer upper.
You know what I mean? And it's just so hard to be like, yeah, I'll pull the trigger and do that. Unless you're just tired of renting, you're just done. You're fed up. There's a lot you can do. Like they do a 2-1 buy down right now for a lot of lenders will offer that. So what a 2-1 is essentially like if you lock in a 6% rate,
you put money down to buy the interest rate down.
right? So for your first year is going to be 4%. Your next year is 5%, and hopefully the idea is to refi before you get to 6.
So it's kind of like the adjustable mortgage, but more safer.
Yeah, definitely safer.
Because I got caught up in that when I was married. The ex and I had a condo out in Harriman.
Okay.
And we bought it right before the crash in 2008.
Beautiful.
And then stayed there for a little over a year. And there was just no getting out of it.
Right.
And we were looking to like grow into the marriage life. So we ended up short selling it, renting from a friend. And then like since then, I have not even thought about buying a house, to be honest with you. I'd love one, and I like for me.
You have a studio in the basement, dude. That'd be, it's sick. But also leaving the house is a great thing,
Yeah.
Having your office space like this is so sick.
Yeah. For like, this is a blessing. I tell Lee all the time, and I've said it on previous podcasts. Like he's making my dream come true.
Right.
So now it's like,
shout out Lee.
Whatever I can do to help him.
It's our dream.
Well, yeah.
Building this brand is our dream.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. What do you like? So for all the newer people that are thinking about going into real estate or are struggling like you are, like what have you learned? Like, if you could pass on like the short amount of knowledge in the 2 years you've been doing it, like what would you tell someone?
I mean, if you don't own a home right now, just get in.
Like no matter what.
Buy what you can. Yeah, buy what you can. Get in anywhere where you can. Because, I mean, any condo, anything like that's still ownership. And ownership gains equity.
Right.
So that's massive. And as you guys have, as everyone has seen, like equity has boomed over the past few years. Like It's been insane. I bought a condo in Reno after So the year after there, I had a lease. I let it go, and I bought a condo for $100,000. I was like, okay, cool. I lived in that thing for 3 years and sold it for 170. So I was like, okay, that's how it works. This is great. Let's do that. Then I just like, I should get my license because that makes sense, and then being that I've built houses for many years after high school. It was like, that was the thing, framing houses, roofing, every aspect of it from rebar to roof. And so like, that's kind of like what I wanted to bring into the real estate game is like that knowledge, like you're not walking around with just a paper pusher essentially.
Right.
And I mean, there's no offense to anybody like in that market also, but like there's a lot of people in the industry. So many people went and got their licenses like during COVID and stuff like that, they're like, oh, it'll be like a little side hustle, things like that. But it's like, are you passionate about the house though? Because like when I show my buyers like their houses or get them into a house, like I'm like, this is the greatest thing. This is so cool.
Yeah.
Like seeing their faces when I say, here's your keys. Like that's the most beautiful feeling in the world.
Closing's intense though, because I mean, it's literally all those fucking documents you sign. It's like you sign your life away.
Right.
Like it's crazy.
Well, you're committing to something though. Like
it's a tangible thing.
Yeah, 100%. You're just committing to, this is where my money is going to go for the rest of this time.
Right.
And I mean, you could always bail and just sell it, but I mean, just like Monopoly, you just should gain assets.
Right.
That's literally a game for life.
Do you like what kind of marketing do you do?
Just really just Instagram, Facebook, things like that. Paid ads here and there, but I haven't done a whole lot. I went door knocking a little bit around the neighborhood in Murray, just dropping off cards and stuff like that. Just having conversations with people, But like I feel like that's like the best way is like to drum up business. Is like it's obviously friends or referrals, but the biggest thing is like having that credibility with somebody. If I'm just like random guy knocking on your door, I'm just like every other random guy knocking on your door.
You're like the coupon sales guy.
No one knows me, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's the thing, like being that all of the social media like was a pretty big thing for me for a while until I just like pretty much killed the profile, So I'm slowly building it. I totally regret that decision. But
yeah, because I remember when you dropped Fresh, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the clothing. Yeah.
And then how many subscribers did you have on that?
I don't know. I had
followers.
I had a couple thousand followers when I dropped the clothing company. Like that was like what? It started maybe 12 years ago, something like that.
What was the clothing brand's name?
Fresh, FRHESH.
Nice.
And we did. I really just kind of did pieces that I wanted. Like I couldn't find them anywhere. I was like, I want T-shirts that are like long, like a scoop tee or things like that. So I just buy them.
You took basically you carved out your own route on that deal.
Yeah, 100%. Just was like, I'm just going to do this because I don't want to, all these T-shirts don't fit right. I hate them. So I just did that. And I was like, yeah, these will work. Kind of like do some market research, find out like what brands kind of produce. Obviously try to be like ethical with like what type of T-shirt you're going to print with and things like that,
Right.
But then, kind of just like, okay, I want to do these. And then like all the time, it just seems like I want to, I need a new hoodie. So I'm just going to design one and then I'll buy 10 of them and sell 8 of them and have 2 free ones.
So yeah, I have there you go. I have a friend that's coming on next week who is big into the bodybuilding.
Okay.
He has his own clothing line too. So like, to me, like, how did you get started doing that? Like, were you like, because I used to sell the knockoff NFL jerseys, so I know China is the way to go.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because you just cost on bulk is insane.
100%.
Like, who was doing like
Alibaba, dude, is the way.
Yeah. So that's where I got my start.
Did you?
It was Alibaba, and then, or no, sorry, it was AliExpress. No, yeah, AliExpress.
Yeah.
And then I went to Alibaba, and then I just developed a relationship with a dude that was working in one of the factories.
Yeah.
So I was able to get him at like cheap price.
Yeah, it's sick.
But anyway, like I think that's the route we're probably gonna have to go. But who did all your screen printing?
Spilt Ink here in Salt Lake City. Shout out Spilt Ink. Love you guys. They're a local screen printer. They're owned by my homies. They're awesome. They'll take care of you if you ever need anything, I'm sure. But they did all my printing for every piece pretty much that I've done, except for all the sublimation. So the last order, I actually just saw this like in the Facebook memories, but like I dropped the underwear, the second run of the underwear, because I did like hoodies, t-shirts, tank tops, and then I was like, I want to do something that's like different than everyone else. So I just was like, Ethica had just like kind of come out and like started like blowing up. So I was like, I'm gonna make a drawer better.
Right.
And it's like, it cost me more money. The materials were thicker, just built for a like athlete. And then the last run I did a pocket on the inside, like a stash pocket that no one would ever find anything ever. Like it's impossible.
See, so women's thongs have it, but I heard they store like tater tots and shit.
Yeah, for sure. That's a tater pocket, dude, for sure.
Did you have a logo for your brand, or was it just like the print of the?
I did multiple different fonts with it, but I did the logo that was like it was the Jordan logo, but I had dreads back in the day, and then I just cropped my dreads on that, and then instead of the basketball, it was a blunt, so I call it the Blunt Man, and like that was like the fresh icon. But I did like an F+. The F+ is like the main thing.
Did anyone ever come after you for copyright?
No.
Like I've probably told this fucking story 5-6 weeks in a row now, but
Nice. Everyone on the pod though?
well, no. So when we started doing the video portion, we uploaded our very first one, and it had the old podcast music.
Okay.
But I bought that on a royalty-free website.
Oh,
I
sick.
just can't find the fucking email.
Sick.
But I wanted to change it to what it is now anyway, because the old one was just like me and the guy that does the video editing. This was like in my dad's basement.
Okay.
That's where that started.
I saw a photo of it.
Yeah. And now it's like this, and I'm like, okay, I got to change the music. It's got to be a little bit more
Yeah,
professional.
let's make it legit. Yeah.
So the funny thing is this one is royalty free as well, but it's just straight off a download website,
Oh, okay.
like a legit, not like a,
Dude, you got to hit up some local artists, dog. Have them just do your stuff.
Well, so we actually have.
Sit down with Dr. Swanee.
There you go. No, we actually have a couple hip hop guys coming in.
Cool.
So that's something we'll talk about too. But
Love that.
anyway,
Yeah, the clothing though stuff. How I got started though in that. We went off on a few different tangents.
yeah. So tell me how that came about.
So I was a rep for Quicksilver and LibTech, and that was like after working in skate shops for a long time and being a skateboarder in the scene and stuff. And then I got offered this job and took it. It's a great opportunity. I made like no money at all, but it was like I get to go travel and snowboard. Keep in mind, like at this point, I had never even snowboarded. I was just a broke skateboarder. Like you can't. Dude, I couldn't even afford to pay for a snowboard, let alone like a lift ticket and all that business back then. So I got offered this job though, and I was like, I told all my homies too. I was like, I've never snowboarded though. Like they're like, it'll be fine, just take the job.
It's the same thing.
I'm like, okay, got it, dude. Yeah, actually, I mean, it clicked pretty quickly, but it was more like the sales was just needed. So I mean, I had that. I've always been like that sales mind. But
So are you like when you're doing the Quicksilver stuff? Are you going to like malls and selling?
yeah, I mean, not necessarily like the malls, but like all the accounts that we'd have would be like mom and pop type stores.
Okay.
So like our accounts were all through like the Rockies.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm traveling a ton. I'm like 18 days on the road a month, and I'm making like $1,500.
The fuck?
I'm like, that doesn't work out. The math doesn't work. I did that for a year and a half, and I was like, I need money.
How did you survive?
I did it. I ate PBJs all the time, and I just skated.
That's grinding.
And then they would just be like, here, you want some beers? I'm like, yeah, let's get all the beers.
That's grinding.
Crashing on people's floors and stuff like that. And like, I know as a rep, like you're just starting. I mean, I had just broke into that type of job, that line of work. And like, so my boss was like, really like, go do it. And it was like, okay, cool. I'm doing it. And I definitely wasn't compensated accordingly for like what was going on, I felt like, but it is what it is. It's all experience points at this point. So, but I learned a lot through that. So, I mean, I learned that, yeah, they're going through China for samples. They're getting all this done there. And then the light bulb was like, okay, cool. Let's do that. Like, let's do it for ourselves then. Let's see what our minimums are. What are minimums for underwear? 500 pairs? Okay. That's $4,000, $5,000. Like $9 a pair if you like really kind of find the right source and do the right stuff. So, I mean, it was definitely a time to develop and like learn a ton. But I mean, if anyone wants to make that brand, just do something. Just take that first step.
Right.
Just go. And I mean, I haven't done anything with it since. I always made my money back. That was the thing. Like, I always just like break even. And I'm like, okay, I'm good. And I just kind of stop pushing it. But it's like I have a couple boxes of underwear just chilling. I won't need underwear for probably the rest of my life.
Yeah, no shit.
Especially, how much were you ordering?
I ordered 500 pairs. Was the minimum on these,
Like-
on the drawers.
Oh, but like the shirts and the hoodies.
I like hoodies and stuff like that. I mean, smaller runs. I try to do as like small as I can because like I mean it was a small business at that point too, and it still obviously is. But I'd do maybe like 100 tees or something like that, something small, but just like super limited runs, you know. But I would really want to get back into that industry too. It's pretty fun. I like designing. I like just creating graphic and putting it out, you know.
See, it's crazy because like you knew me back in the day.
Yeah.
I was probably the least artistic person you'd ever meet.
Dude, I didn't really know anything about you doing any art at all. You
nothing.
play football.
That was it. That was it. But like as I get older in life, and especially when I start, surrounding myself with like-minded people, it's crazy. Like the artistry.
It motivates you, bro.
Oh, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be stimulated in that aspect, and all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, yeah, I could do something like that. Cool.
Right.
It's like the music thing. I mean, like hanging out with C-Dubs and stuff like that. You know, like those guys, Corey Capello and stuff. I kind of got like into making music and stuff like that. That was a really fun period too. But yeah, the clothing, like that's all like right around that same time too. But
What was your vision with it when you first started?
dude,
What would you do different, like doing it again?
if I did it differently,
Like, what were some of your mistakes you feel that?
man, I don't know. I don't even look at I'll look at anything as like a mistake. You know what I mean? Like everything is like you learn from it. Every loss is a lesson, right?
Right.
That's what they say. So it's like there's no, I don't know. I really with these days like brands, it's kind of I feel like because my boy is from Sugar Hill, Chris. They have this brand and it's booming. Like it's one of like all the rappers. It's big time. Like they just grinded. Like went to every shop, like every hip hop shop. Everything is doing that. Like just hey, we should try to get this in here. You got like just develop accounts. That's the same thing that Quicksilver did, back in the day when they start and they're like they're making board shorts and all of a sudden they're like, hey, you should carry my stuff. They're selling them out of a van down by the beach. Let's do this now. Let's try to get in this store.
You ever tried like the swap meet deal? I feel like Utah would be hard though because there's so many retail stores.
Oh, like in the swap meet?
Yeah, well, no, just in general. Like let's say you're gonna hit the reboot on your clothing line.
Yeah.
And you how would you go about going down and selling to like a Tilly's for an example?
What I would do is
Because there's like levels of reps you have to get to, right?
100%. Yeah. Really, you just have to have the product to back like a Tilly's size order.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's some shops I was able to get it in, some like local state shops and stuff like that, and props and thanks you guys for letting me put it in there. Even Twisted Roots down here, it was so sick. They're like, yeah, we'll carry your stuff. I was like,
oh, no shit.
Yeah, I was like, awesome. Shout out Ibu, he's the man. But yeah, it's hard to grow a brand, I feel like, if you don't have like just capital backing it.
Right.
So like the biggest failure would be like not saving up 20 grand to just pay for ads. You know what I mean? And like get your business out there. I mean, I've had like the sickest people, in my opinion, like rocking it, like Tanner Hall, you got Jason Alon from Fever 333 rocking gear, I mean, it's just awesome. You got Dan from Hollywood Undead wearing my stuff. It's cool to know these people and they'll support you because it's a cool product, and like
right.
They're just down. But like that's how I just made the money back. So I mean, like there is like some backing for the brand, but like it's just so hard to get out there with something like that. And you really have to have it like consistent drops. Always like I felt like quarterly would be like the thing, But nowadays I feel like if you like watch Supremes, like like their business model is insane. Like they're always dropping just random things, and it's like just so outrageously priced. It's like I never wanted to be like that. I never wanted to be like super high end. Like Ethica drawers are like $25 a pair. I was like, I want to be less than that.
Well, I feel like what I'm gathering from you is you'd rather be known than made a ton of money off of it.
Yeah, 100%. Right? I want to just. I mean, we're broke. We're poor. I don't want to appeal to rich people. I don't like rich people that much because they're kind of.
We can get into that.
Yeah. Because I mean, I wanted to like cater to the people that I am. That like me. We're dirty skateboarders, dude. That's what it was. Like,
right.
So let's do this, and like just ripping holes through Hanes. You're skating in Hanes all the time, and they're just shredding. It's like this ain't working. So I developed something better. So that was kind of like the way around it. But yeah, if you just have capital, you can get anything to work. It just takes time.
Yeah, no, that's what Lee and I always talk about, because we're actually starting this thing with zero capital.
Yeah.
And Colby, who you know, as I'm presenting this idea to him or letting him know what's going on, you know, he's sitting there telling me like, oh, well, you know, you need to get investors. I'm like, no. I don't want investors. I want like grassroots type shit.
Ads.
I want to grow this.
Ads.
You know, yeah, like if someone wants to advertise, you know, we're always open for it. But like at the same time, it's like, I don't want someone to come in with a bunch of money and then
This is mine.
dictate.
Yeah. Wayne's World, dude. I just watched it.
Exactly.
It's the exact
same shit. I'm like, no. We're gonna start to like nothing and grow this. But then at the same time, even with advertisers, you know, I'm not, you know, and I'm sure Lee feels the same way. I'm not going to let an advertiser tell me what I can and can't say.
No, you got to have like the right type of person supporting your brand.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You know,
the right type of company. But I mean, that all comes in time to like fine tuning who your audience is and things like that. Like that's when I was making clothing. It's like, who even wears this? You know, and it was more like skateboarder, like looser fits, things like that. You know, so I don't know. It's kind of fun. It's just fun to develop things. See, even this, you're building it from, you know.
Yeah. But like for me, like I loved your clothing. I've never been a skateboarder, never been a snowboarder. I just dug the style. Yeah. Call me a poser, don't care.
Well, you weren't rocking it really, but.
No, but I mean like, but when I see that, you know, I'm not, you know, I'm like, that's a cool ass look. That's a vintage look. Right. You know, because that's what we grew up in. Yeah. And it's actually starting to make its way back, which is cool to see.
100%. Yeah.
The skinny jean shit's got to go. It's some stupid ass shit. I think
it's like a time, like I have an outfit for like everything.
Yeah.
You know what I feel like I've got the skinnier pants. They definitely don't get as much run anymore. You know, like you get older, you're like.
Have you like skated in those?
Yeah, not really though anymore. Like I used to, like, you know, like the tight pants. Yeah. Like girl pants. Yeah. We used to go to Walmart. Well, we used to go to another location. It wasn't Walmart because they didn't carry these girl pants, but it was another store. But we used to take them, and like there are skate pants now, and like these girl pants, they had the best fit because they're all stretchy and it's just the best. They're so cheap, and you're just like, all right, cool, I'm out.
See, when I see that, though, I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah. I mean, you don't have to
Fashion's
be like,
weird, though.
It is. Like, you don't have to have, like, Janko big jeans like what I had back in the day.
Oh, my God. Those are so terrible.
They are, and I can't believe they're back. But, like, when I see, like, men looking at, or when I look at men and you know, their jeans are just as tight, if not tighter than the girl they're with, I'm like.
Yeah. Like, those are leggings, dog.
I know. Like, you might as well just put the fucking leggings on, dude.
Nah,
like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, fashion's weird. It's kind of crazy how it like goes in circles, though, isn't it? Like we've got to see it now that we're old. Right. It's so weird. I mean, 38's old, I guess. Whatever.
Well, it's funny because people are like, "You're still young. You have a lot of life to live." Well, yeah, no shit.
Yeah, it's because you're old. You're telling me that.
But it's like 38 is just a number, you know.
Yeah, for sure. It is, but
then there's days you wake up and you're like, "Yep, I'm old as fuck."
Dude, the other day I'm in bed and I kick my covers and my knee popped out.
Like popped out of place?
Yeah, like because my ligaments are all stretched. Right. I've never actually. This is a crazy thing. I've never had a surgery.
Same. Like, I've had like stitches and shit, but
out of all like the skateboard stuff, like all the injuries, I've never had one that's like a surgery.
Which is crazy because you see some gnarly fucking shit.
For sure. But yeah, so my ligaments are just elastic. I feel like they just like kind of go out sometimes. But yeah, my kneecap just like goes over sometimes. And I just kick the covers, like getting out of there, and it's like out. And I'm like, oh, and you can't move, and I like pop it back in. It makes a sound. You're like, oh my God. It's so gnarly.
Man down. You're like,
it's just laying in bed. Wife's like, what's going on? I'm like, I'll get my coffee in a minute. Hold on.
I got to pop my knee back in.
Yeah, my knee. Getting old sucks.
You still play football?
I want to so bad. I really want to. Like mentally, I'm like, yeah, let's go run. It's great. I tried to play. Was it not this last? No, yeah, it was this last season. I played a couple games and I was like, okay, cool. And then I just like wasn't in shape for it. This is like right after I moved back home from Reno, and I like wasn't as prepped. I feel like for it. Like I'm going to tackle these like teenage, or I feel like they're teenagers, but like they're 25. Right. They're young, spry, and just ready to hit me. And I'm like, all right, I'm just here to get picks. I don't care. Like, I don't care about tackling.
Well, I feel like, and I've never played it. but I feel like the league you played in is like the equivalent of church ball, where like every game is the fucking Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, definitely. People like they're
people,
weekend warriors, dog.
And they want to like
some guys out there like putting it all on the line.
I know, like for what though? Like you ain't going
I gotta
anywhere.
be to work on Monday, but it's gonna be all right.
I'm gonna lay this fucker out right
Well,
now.
get him. I hate that guy.
I got CTE.
He definitely does. I'm just like, I just want to get interceptions, bro. That's it. Like that's my favorite thing in the world, getting picks, and like that fire still is like kind of there, but it's like then my body's like, remember now,
Yeah.
if you move too quick,
Yeah.
you might hurt your knee getting out of bed.
Oh yeah.
So it's not. It's not great.
I can't even put the car in first gear. What the fuck?
Dude, it's terrible. It's so terrible. So I don't know.
I remember growing up though, like you idolized Dion.
Oh yeah,
that was your
Prime
boy.
time. Yeah, Prime. That was the guy.
So when you used to post your videos of you like doing the picks and shit, it's like oh, there's like Dion right there.
Yep, literally, dude. I mean, getting all those picks in those seasons was so fun. Like I got 14 and 9 in arena.
Damn.
14 picks in 9 games.
Damn.
That's insane.
That's almost 2 a game. That's unheard of.
It was nuts. Like, it was crazy. I was just rambling, dude. Like, I don't know what it was, but the ball just goes toward me.
So you play free?
Yeah, free. And then, I mean, if I had to, play corner, but I didn't. I was like, why? Just let me play in the middle.
So with, like in those leagues, do you run a lot of zone, or is it mostly man-to-man?
Yeah, a lot of zone. Mostly cover 3, like for teams that are working with me, because like then it's like, hey guys, like just play back. Let's just float. Let's float. Let's let these linebackers, because we had some good linebackers too. So like they can cover the slants and everything like that. We just don't get beat deep. We're good to go.
See, I figured like for you'd want to play more in a like man-to-man as a free safety, so you can play sideline to sideline, kind of like Ed Reed.
I watched quarterback.
Right.
And like the dude that was calling defense, he knew that with me. Like he's like, you don't even look at a receiver at all, huh? And I'm like, nope. Like not really.
Don't need though.
Like peripheral, you know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, he's coming like on a post. Okay, I got this. But I'm watching quarterback's eyes and like where they're going. And as soon as like he dips that shoulder, it's like mine.
What's funny is like I could watch football today and know what's going on pre-snap before they even do anything.
Yep.
Like you just know.
Yeah, when you played it for so many years.
Right. And so like I have friends that are, let's just put it this way, Patriots fans.
Oh, that's great.
When they were, when they were
stay
good.
fans. They're not fans anymore though.
Oh, like you would try to have like an intelligent football conversation with them, and it really what it turned into is like, in the water boy, like, did you see that? He ran right past him. I'm like, do you even fucking know how that happened?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, do you know what a pick play is? Do you know it's illegal to do that shit?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what a cover 3 is? Do you know what a cover 2 is? Like, you know what I mean?
Patriots fans.
And,
bro.
Oh, dude, I fucking hate Patriots.
We're the best. It's like, shut the fuck up. Tom Brady's the best. You guys,
You don't hear anything from Patriots fans right now.
Not a
Like,
damn
where they
thing,
all go?
bro. Look at Belichick. He's out of here.
They're all Miami fans.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, that's what I meant.
No, I'm just kidding, Lee.
Nah, we don't want them.
Hell no. No, I think, like, I don't know, dude. NFL's crazy because, they're talking actually about letting Belichick go.
Yeah.
And I always knew it was Tom Brady's show.
100%.
Everyone knew that.
Yeah.
But, like, Belichick got labeled, oh, he's this great mastermind. I'm like, you haven't done shit. So what I'm really hoping for
In
is...
Belichick's defense, though, like, he did win 2 rings with the Giants.
Yeah.
As a
Yeah, but that was
defensive
Parcells,
coordinator.
though, right?
Yeah, but the defense was Parcells was the offenses.
Keep in mind, that defense was
the defense was
incredible
LT
also.
and all
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, that defense was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor, that dude's insane. I loved watching that guy play.
What I'm
So
really...
he really had 2 GOATs under him because he coached Lawrence Taylor, then he coached Tom Brady later.
Yeah, how hard is it to have a good defense when you have Lawrence Taylor? Like, okay, it's like your defense. If you have Ray Lewis, you have the best defense. It doesn't even matter. Like,
Right.
That's the best guy.
Like, as far as, like, the Belichick coaching tree, like, or Eric, I don't even know if you guys have looked into this. Do you know how many coaches are underneath that tree that are still coaching today?
Affiliated with it.
Oh, yeah, Saban. And then Saban has this massive tree. You can literally point to just about any position coach or head coach in the SEC, and they've all come from Saban.
No way.
That's crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah.
I mean, like, look
It's
at...
a small world too.
Well, dude, like, look at Texas. You have Sarkisian, who coached under...
Dude, I don't watch enough college to know all the names.
No? You still a straight-up NFL guy?
I guess. Excuse me. I guess. Mostly, yeah. I watch Utes games. You know what I mean? Like I love going to the Utes games. That's the closest thing we have to football. Or
Go
the NFL.
Utes.
Yeah,
Dude,
go Utes for sure.
Lee's got some season tickets that blow your fucking
Do
mind.
you?
Oh my god,
man,
dude.
that's tight. I'm pretty sure. Sean said that I get 2 season tickets for coming on the pod too. So
We're actually talking about
or like that game, just like to one game, not season tickets. So
we're actually talking about potentially going in on it.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
That'd be sweet.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no man, it'd be awesome. I love their games though.
No, but like his season tickets, like they're in the south end zone,
Cool.
but they're like off towards like the corner. So you have like the entire Utah bench in front of you, but then you have like the entire like panoramic view of Rice Eccles,
Yeah,
and it's like right on the railing.
gotcha. That's
like-
funny.
It's first row, and then we got the band, and we got the muss,
Yeah,
like real close to us. So
that's so sick.
it's like good energy over there,
That's awesome.
especially when we're blowing somebody out or just smashing somebody. Like it's
The best
or
feeling
them,
ever.
like close games are fun too. Like that USC game,
Oh man,
that was a great game. The one last year
yeah.
that came to the very end where I don't know if you watched it.
No, I'm sure I did, but
But yeah, we scored a 2-point conversion at the end of the game to win the game. With like I don't think there was
Oh, yeah, I
any
remember
time
that.
left.
I remember that shit.
Yeah, that game was
that'd be sick,
probably top 2 games that I've ever attended.
man. Yeah, I find that if I'm watching Utes games, there's alcohol involved.
Lots,
Yeah,
usually.
yeah. Typically,
Do you feel as you get older, you are less passionate about your teams or more passionate?
less for sure.
Yeah.
You're not as affected. You know what I mean? I feel like when you're younger, like you're just passionate about a lot of things.
Right.
Everything kind of gets old when you do.
See, it's funny because like today, Baltimore's playing Pittsburgh, and I knew Baltimore was going to lose because they benched everyone.
Yeah.
And Colby Ham is texting me the entire time while he's at a bar, talking shit to me about the game.
Yeah, he likes the Steelers.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm talking shit back, and I'm quickly realizing I don't care about the fucking game.
Yeah.
I actually just love talking shit to him.
Yes, just talking to your friends. It brings you together,
Oh yeah, for sure,
you know?
for sure.
A lot of my friends don't watch football anymore either, though. But so it's like, I find it's just me and my wife watching the Raiders, you know? It's so fun. She loves them. She's like, so I took her to, it was the last time the Raiders played the Chiefs in Oakland. I took her, we had seats in the black hole.
Oh,
And she was like, I was like, this is gonna be amazing. They were burning Antonio Brown jerseys in the parking lot, like they had a bonfire, and people were just throwing jerseys on it.
Damn.
Like it was insane, like a mound of jerseys.
Oakland's crazy.
Oakland is awesome. That's the coolest place ever.
Well, if you're wearing silver and black, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But like, I have family members that are Broncos fans
Oh yeah,
that have been there
yeah,
and like had to run the fuck out of the stadium.
yeah. They're like, we should go.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I have a funny story about that too. Went and saw the season opener in Denver this year, but I'll get to that. But I took her to see the Chiefs, and she were like, "It's so funny." Like she just became like instantly like fell in love with the Raiders because like how like raw the people are. Like people like whole families face paint, you know, like had like a kid wearing shoulder pads with spikes on them, looking like the Legion of Doom and stuff. And my wife's like, "Oh my God, that's amazing!" Like loves them. And so like by the end of it, then like we walk in the stadium and there's like a little kiosk. We're like, "Hey, let's get a shot. Let's do this." And the guy's like, "Okay, cool. Yeah, you guys want?" I'm like, he's like, "What do you guys want to shoot?" I'm like, "Tequila." Put 2 cups and he's just like looking at us all pointing like, "Hey, you guys excited for the game or what?" We're like, I'm like, "Yeah, definitely excited. What's going on here?"
Like, Dorothy, we're not in
He's like,
Kansas.
"Oh, my bad."
Yeah.
And he like goes to the next one, like filled up 2 solo cups just of tequila. I'm like, "We're gonna die.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
This is gonna be
Oh,
crazy." I mean, the Raiders fans will support us, so don't worry. But so after the game, we're walking around. Wife's now, you know, she's had her cup of tequila. We've had like a couple beers, and
It's a good night when you go home, though.
yeah, definitely. But wife is like, she sees this like Chief family, and she's like, "Fuck the Chiefs!" Like, and I'm like, "There's kids." Yes, you're right. Fuck the Chiefs for sure.
Yeah.
But don't tell that kid though. Let's let him get away. You know, you tell tell the old people, not the kids. They don't know any better. Their parents just dressed them up like idiots.
So, funny story. This year, I had a dream come true. Actually, this goes back to last year and then into this year. So, at my work, we ended up getting the NBA playoff contract.
Oh, okay.
So they would ship us all like the audio video shit for like the million different locations.
Sick.
So we would just make a run and deliver everything. And it went off without a hitch. So we, you know, what it ended up doing was the NBA wasn't happy with their logistics company.
Okay.
So they fired them and hired our logistics company.
Nice.
So it kind of worked out really well.
Perfect.
So then my boss is, he's promising these bonuses. Like, I'll give you a bonus. I'll give you a bonus. And like months and months and months go by. And like, I'm not the type where I'm like, bitch, you owe me a fucking bonus. Like, I'm not even bringing it up.
Yeah.
But I know what he paid our warehouse. And so, like, I was expecting, like, the same. I was like, cool. Like,
bonus-wise?
I mean, anything I get extra, I'm just like, cool. I'm just grateful,
Right. Of course.
So, it's leading up to, like, a month before the kickoff for Utah, Florida. Mm-hmm. And my boss pulls me in his office. He's like, hey, I know I've been promising you this bonus. Have you gotten tickets for Utah, Florida? And I was like, no. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm going to get them for you. As a thank you. So, because it's Florida and they never played here before.
Yeah.
Dude, standing room tickets were fucking $500 for
Ooh.
two. For two.
Yeah.
So I'm like, shit. So then I invite this girl that we kind of been seeing each other off and on. And, I buy the fucking Jacques Green jersey.
Yeah.
I got her shirt. Like, I'm all ready for it. We get to the Utah game. We're making that fucking hike all the way up to the top. And this drunk ass fucking Utah kid gets in my face. He's like, yeah, bitch, what? And I'm just like, oh my God, bro.
Oh, no.
If this was like 5 or 10 years earlier, I'm going to throw you off the fucking stadium.
No kidding.
You know what I mean? But
fanatics like that.
Oh, dude, so
it's like, don't be disrespectful, bro.
Well, I'm like, I'm not up in your shit. And I understand that he doesn't know me. He doesn't know I'm from Salt Lake.
Right.
But then also at the same time, like, I know Utah fans got treated like shit when they went down to Gainesville last year.
Of course, I'm sure.
So I get it.
Be the person you want to be treated by.
Right.
Kind of like
So what we ended up doing is getting up to a very crowded standing room. Mm-hmm. So, like, we could barely even see the game. And you're already up high. I mean, your nosebleeds for sure. So I look over across the stadium where the visitor section's at. Mm-hmm. And there's, like, hardly anyone up there.
Right.
So I was like, fuck yeah. So we left, went up there. I mean, I just walked right past security. I had the Gator jersey on. Like, they didn't question anything. Walked right.
I just didn't want to talk to you because you had that on, dude.
Probably. I walked right past the band all the way up to the very top and just hung out with Gator fans the whole game.
That's cool.
We lost, got our ass kicked, looked like shit the entire fucking year, but it was a good time.
Cool experience.
And then I think it was a week later, Lee, wasn't it, that we went to the game?
Yeah, it was.
And then this was born. Like, he's got another friend that was going to go to the game but got COVID.
Oh, okay.
Had that motherfucker not got COVID, this is probably we're not here today.
Wow.
Yeah, because
crazy.
We met up here to go to the game.
Yeah.
Damn.
So we were playing on a Division II team or whatever they're called now.
Weaver State.
Yeah. And
whatever they're called.
It's a high school team.
No, bro, like, we missed the first fucking half because we were in here talking about setting this whole thing up, like the idea.
Oh, cool.
And then we went to the game, and then we went down to, we had a couple more meetings, right?
Yeah.
And then I started bringing the equipment over.
That day just kind of sparked an idea.
Right.
We had to meet after that,
Because I didn't think I was ever going to record again, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, I had all the equipment sitting on a desk collecting dust.
You're just like, whatever, yeah.
Well, I just, like...
That's kind of the same. I'm in the same boat. I have all the studio equipment. Cause like we were talking about music and stuff, recently. But yeah, the motivation, the passion. It's like, where do you find the time to do it? You just have to make it. You have to, like, literally make that time.
You just have to do it, you know? And so anyway, yeah, I mean, this sprang up, and then he was telling you about the golf trip for MGA. You got to join MGA.
Oh, dude, it'd be so fun. I would love to. Golf has become the thing.
Bro, like, Colby's been begging me for 2 years to do it.
Yeah.
He was begging Lee. Lee's first year was this year.
Okay.
But then, like, we go down.
First year was last year,
or
but
last year.
I joined, like, halfway through.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we go down to Vegas. I'm not even invited to the golf tournament, but do you remember AJ Hicks?
Yeah.
So he's in our little golf circle.
Cool.
So
shout out to AJ.
Yeah, big shout out to AJ.
Yeah, man, congrats
He's
on the
one
new
of my
house.
golf senseis.
Yeah, that dude is fucking legit. Teach you
is
some
he?
shit. Oh yeah.
He's good at golf?
Oh
That's
yeah.
cool.
He's phenomenal.
That's awesome.
So anyway, we go down there, and the first night we play in Mesquite, and I'm the fourth guy in a threesome that they already had scheduled. So I played day one. The next day I go out with Lee and AJ and Mo Pete and, like, golf at this really nice Indian reservation in Vegas.
Okay.
And, like, you're talking like 220 around type shit. And this is like winter type shit. Like the twilight, because the sun goes down earlier because it's the hour difference, So anyway, the next 2 days were just straight fucking party and chaos.
Oh God.
So my original plan, and I bought GoPros for all this, but I was gonna go down and like just take a golf cart and follow Lee around and like film and act like I'm supposed to be there, but I'm not.
Right.
But we did so much partying the night before that I didn't get out of bed.
Oh no.
But that night before, I ended up running into, I won't say his name because he was actually on the first episode. So he's trying to keep it because of his work, what he does.
Yeah.
So we'll call him Kevin.
Okay.
So I met Kevin and literally told him about like me and Lee rebooting this whole thing and like doing it the right way. And he's like, dude, that's always been a dream of mine. So I just started networking like crazy.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, everyone's talking about like me running the league this year.
Sick.
I don't think that's going to happen, but I just know the guy that runs it for Salt Lake is trying to get out of it.
Oh, gotcha.
So then Colby hears about it and starts freaking the fuck out because I haven't even played a round yet.
Right.
And he's like, you're not going to run the league and all this shit. And I was telling everyone, go around, start telling him that I'm going to run the fucking Salt Lake City chapter.
There you go.
So for 2 days, I had him convinced that it was it's all being passed over to me. And then finally told him, like, we're just fucking with them. But anyway, like, good people. Like, you will have a blast.
Oh, dude, I bet. I love golf, man. It's become the new passion since skateboarding has, like, taken its toll on my body. Like, the last things I pretty much have left to mess up are, like, my shoulders.
And you need those.
Yeah, you have to have those in golf. So,
Do you watch golf?
I do, actually. I've started to watch golf. When I was in Reno, that became, like, a thing because, I mean, golf, dudes in the trades, a lot of them golf, like, like business meetings on the golf course or whatever, you know, so go and chat with those dudes and hang out and like play around. So I kind of had to like dive into it, but they have like some really sick driving range. They have a really sick driving range in Reno at the GSR. Like you hit into like a lake that has like little targets all floating on it.
Oh, really?
Super cool. Really fun. And that's like kind of like where it ignited like the passion. And then I met a dude out there. His name's Corey. He's rad. He took me around, like just kind of like taught me golf. I bought my first like actual set, like some Ping hollowbacks. I was like, okay, cool. He's like, these will be great for you. Just trust me, it'll be fine. So dove in. I love it now.
You know who we need to get on the podcast? Tony Finau. How dope would that be?
That'd be amazing. Rose Park legend.
You know what's funny is my last company, he bought his house in Utah County and bought a ton of restoration hardware furniture. So I haven't been to his house, but we did the delivery for him. Tony is a super nice guy.
He seems like it.
Shout out Tony if you're seeing him.
He likes to support like
Yeah.
Salt Lake and local stuff. So
Yeah, man.
Like I heard you can catch him over at like Rose Park Golf Course every once in a while.
Yeah, it's his course, huh? Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, man, I love golf though. It's a definite passion. It's so cool.
Yeah. So
Hardest game ever. It's like skateboarding though.
game you'll never perfect. Like you'll always be working on it.
It's like it really does like equate to skateboarding for me though. Like every like motion, right? So like a kickflip is like a flick, you know, and like like a flop shot is a sort of like a type of emotion. You know, it's like you can kind of program that like type of thing. The only thing is in golf, you get one try every time. You know, like I'd like to play 2-try golf. That's the best.
you and Colby get along.
You're always better on your second shot.
Exactly. It's like it's just easier, more mellow shots.
See, you and Colby would kill it if you guys were paired together because he likes to do a thing called a breakfast ball.
Oh, the breakfast ball is only on the first hole.
Not when you play with Colby.
Oh, okay.
Now here's the other thing too is like if you're playing with Colby and he hits a bad shot, like let's say he goes out in the middle of nowhere, he will find a ball that's in the weeds and doesn't claim that stroke and then hits from there.
Oh man, that's good scoring right there.
Well, it's funny because like he's just
You got to play legit though. I'm very like sportsmanship is a big thing. You know, like I'm very competitive, very very competitive. I always want to win every single thing I'm doing. Anything. You know, like
so I used to be. So this is why I love golf. I used to be super fucking competitive with everyone.
Yeah.
And figured out a lot of it is just a waste of energy.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Golf though, like I get pissed off on the golf course when I don't play that well, but the only person I'm mad at is me.
Right.
So I'm still competitive. I'm just competitive with myself.
Right. Disappointed in yourself. Yeah.
Oh, dude, the whole nine. So anyway, like I probably been playing for like 12 or 13 years.
Okay.
I am not good.
No.
But I can hit the ball, and when things are working great, I have some pretty decent shots.
Right.
It wasn't until this last year when I really started to invest in
into
the training on doing it, Because if it was just like the casual Saturday, Sunday golf round, I'm going probably 4 or 5 times, maybe 6 times in a summer, and I'm good. Mm-hmm. Like the group that we go with.
I was going like every week this summer, pretty much.
The group we go with is like every Sunday.
Oh, okay.
So it's either you're golfing in the MGA or the other 3 weeks out of the month, we're going golfing somewhere else.
I would tell these guys also what the MGA is. I don't know if anyone heard that yet.
Mediocre Golf Association.
The MGA.
So Lee knows more about it than I do, but it's pretty much just like what we love, just a bunch of degenerates playing golf.
Sounds awesome. But it's a whole league, though. So, is there like a buy-in? Or is there...
What is the buy-in?
I can't remember what the buy-in is. It's not much, though.
Stay tuned for details on the MGA.
In every course, you got to pay like an extra, like $25 or something.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So it's not the full round then.
You pay something at the very beginning, but...
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what it's like. $150.
League details coming soon, but that sounds awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone who listens to this, if they're interested,
I'd love to play, dude. I love golf. It's so fun.
Yeah, just hit me up. I'll get as much details as possible, but I'm planning on joining this year for sure.
Cool.
And
awesome.
Everyone I've met has been like awesome. Like they're funny.
That's cool.
There's a lot of shit.
Kind of play on like all the names of all the majors in the PGA. Mm-hmm. Like there's the Masters and we have the Bastards.
Oh, okay.
And there's the U.S. Open. We have the FU Open.
Perfect. That's perfect. I love it. That sounds great.
It's fun, man.
Yeah,
we give out like a green jacket too.
A green jacket.
They have the
Shout
green
out
Masters.
to Danny. He won the green jacket this year.
No way. That's so sick.
Yeah, so it's
Is it like cool. A decent jacket, or you guys find it like the DI or something?
No,
I don't know where they get it.
I bought them somewhere. They're like official.
That's sick.
I mean, they're not like the full Masters deal, but they're like similar color, similar fit, whole nine.
Yeah, they're kind of ghetto still, though.
I love that.
Because there's a couple other buddies that have green jackets, and I'm looking at them all. They don't even match. Like they're like different shades
different
of
tones.
Green. Yeah,
Bro, that's like buying. That's like ordering the NFL jerseys. Like, you could literally order like a Tyreek Hill teal color.
Yeah.
And then like a month later, order like a Dan Marino, like even in the new cut.
Yeah.
And the fucking colors are off.
That's funny.
Like I have so many different shades of purple Baltimore Ravens jerseys. It's unreal.
That's hilarious.
That now if I'm doing it, I don't think I'll ever get back into it because it's such a pain in the ass. But
I bet. Especially now with like packages coming through, it's just
the demand was just way above and beyond. I'll actually tell you how that all came about. But anyway, like I only buy white or black. I won't buy the purple shit anymore.
Right.
If I was gonna go that route.
Right.
But no, like one of my previous jobs, there's a guy that used to do it.
Okay.
And so this is like my little competitiveness that I get into. So he had the monopoly on all the shifts. So if you ever wanted a jersey, you go to him, he charged you $50. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I think
the bootleg business.
Yeah, like at the time, the Reebok was the sponsor for the NFL jerseys.
Okay.
So I think you could go into like a Fans and get them for like $60 or $70, real deal. Mm-hmm. But these were like the actual patches, like you've ordered a couple from me, so you've seen them.
Yeah, game style.
Yeah, so like anyway, like I would just keep asking this guy, like, hey, I want to order. When are you doing your next order? He's like, oh, I'm doing it next week. Cool. I'd run into him. Oh, I already ordered.
Yeah. Come
to find out, the motherfucker had some vendetta against me for some reason. So I was like, okay, cool.
Drama.
Let me know. Well, I didn't even know anything about it, but I'm like, let me know when you do your next order. Same shit.
Yeah.
I gave the motherfucker 3 chances.
Oh.
So finally, I'm like, you know what?
Myself.
I'm going to find out how to do this, not just for me, because now I'm going to take your fucking business.
Mm.
And I did that.
Shiny like that.
I did that. I took his entire business. He was pissed off because I was getting them at the time for like $18 a pop.
Yeah.
And I would turn around and sell them for $25. Mm-hmm. He would get them for $18 and sell them at $50.
Yep.
So he's just exploiting people.
100%.
On top of that, it's illegal.
Right.
So anyway, I took over his shit, and then that was when the demand was like mediocre. It wasn't bad.
Right.
When I started advertising it on Facebook,
oh gosh,
and people a bunch of people would reach out to me, and I would tell them, and you know this because you bought shit from China. Like you put your order in, you either have to do like the Western Union or send them like a money order, which is sketchy as fuck anyway.
Yeah.
So that's why, I wanted to develop the relationship with the guy that I was going through. So anyway, it's coming from China.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they have stock, sometimes they don't.
Right.
And you always get shorted too. I always got shorted a jersey or two.
Did you?
And the reason why they would do it, I caught on later, was we'll get you when you reorder. So you're always having to fucking reorder
to get your actual order, yeah.
But my minimum order was 10. I had to order 10.
Yeah.
But when it got to a point where it was so big, like I was ordering like 50 at a time.
Yeah.
From like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 different people.
Right.
So and
then someone has a shorter jersey, and you're like, now I got to deal with this.
Right.
Yeah.
But then they're not understanding this is coming from China. There's a 3-week lead time.
Yeah.
Now, the guy that I developed a relationship with, he was pretty quick. I would get him within like a week or 2. Mm-hmm. But I could never advertise like, hey, I got your jerseys, because if there was a delay, the next time there was a delay, where's my jersey, bitch?
Yeah. This guy got them in 7 days or whatever. Yeah.
So I used to tell people, look, it's going to be about 3 weeks to a month.
Yeah.
As soon as they're in,
Takes time.
If you're freaked out about giving me $50 for fucking jerseys, here are all my references. Like, you know what I mean?
That's with the fresh stuff. I mean, getting samples is like that, but like that, I would be mass producing pieces. You know what I mean? Essentially, well, I mean only 500, but like that, it's so much easier. But if you're doing like one-offs, like that would suck. Like that's what you're doing. It's just singles.
Yeah.
And that stuff sucks.
I just did enough to like, and I would tell people all the time, like, if I can't get to 10, then we're not going to order because I'm not paying shipping.
Right.
So, everyone would be like, oh, well, I'll buy 2 or 3. And then I always had over 10. Mm-hmm. It's just when you work, like at the time I was working 12-hour days, switching between nights and nights and days.
Right.
So when you have 8 different people reaching out to you a week after you ordered, even though you just explained to them that it's going to be about 3 weeks to a month.
Right.
Like at that point, I'm like, fuck it. I ain't doing this shit anymore. Like I don't have the patience for this. Yeah. And I'm not about to ruin relationships because they're like, because
you can't control it. It's out of your, it's totally out of control. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a weird one. I was always wondering about that little jersey biz you had.
I can get back into it. I know the people. For me, it's just, it's a no-go.
Well, it's just like the drawers too. I mean, I could make more. It's like my focus is, it's so hard to, like, I feel like, my brain's bandwidth is like taken up, like when you have your day job, and then like real estate was ideally my day job for the summer, and then it's like just so slow. I sold a few houses, and I was like, okay, cool, I could float for a bit, and it's like, no, let's just not float. Let's just keep going. Let's find a day job. Let's do something, with the time. Let's maintain at least, and then hope that real estate picks back up again, which is, I guess, a lot of realtors take like the winter off. It's like a thing. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I don't know. Like, I'd love to still be doing sales. It'd be sick. I'm always here. I'm always available. Like,
well, it's funny though, because where I work currently is in the moving business.
Okay.
And it's always dead around this time.
Yeah, people ain't trying to move in the wintertime. They're like, no way, I'll just stay here.
No.
I'm good. It's cold out.
We do a lot of national account moving. So like, if like Google wants to move like 100 of their employees, and let's say 3 or 4 of them fall in Utah, and they're moving from here to wherever or back to Utah.
Coordinate it.
Yeah, like it's already like it gets put on my schedule. We service it the whole 9, but like right now is when you see all the national account stuff die off, and then you just don't know what's going to happen next year with the election and all the other shit too. So it's kind of all up in the air. Mm-hmm. I have to ask you this: I remember seeing a post from you on Facebook a while back.
Yeah.
Did you really call someone out
about what
on the real estate thing? Because you said you gave them like a bunch of advice.
Oh.
And then they ended up not signing with you.
Yeah, I had a friend of ours. I mean, it wasn't like a bunch of advice, but like it was like, hey. Do you want to be my agent? I have this property. I'd like to see it.
So you had a verbal agreement with him.
I'm like, I'd love to do it. Let's do it. Let's go right now. And then it was like, I tried to follow up, and they're like, oh yeah, I went with this other person that I had been dating. And I'm like, okay, that's stupid. I was like, just, I felt like, just like, don't bait me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here to help you, of course. I kind of was like butthurt about it because like, I was also like excited to do the job, Like, sick, yeah, I'd love to help out. Let's go. Oh, well, we went with this guy. And it's like, okay. Well, I mean, that's your prerogative, I guess, for sure. But I would have loved to help, but it was kind of bogus. that was kind of like a whack way to do it. Like, hey, want to do this? I'm like, yeah, let's do it tomorrow. Like, set up appointments. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like in good faith, you're giving them advice or like setting those appointments. You're taking time out of your day.
Yeah.
You know, like
even just like putting the block aside for them. You know what I mean? Like my mental bandwidth. I'm like, this is what I'm doing tomorrow. You know, I'm busy, and it was literally a 2-day thing. Like it was like 2 days later. It was like, oh, okay, what? All right,
right. So that's how I feel like on the podcast too, because when I reach out to someone and set a schedule or set like a time, like, hey, this is the day we're thinking, kind of like what I did with you.
Yeah.
You know, like I've had people agree to it
and then bail.
Oh yeah,
of course,
with like a moment's notice.
Yeah, that's great.
And I'm just like, what the?
Well, I mean, with that too, like there's an agreement that you now like. I mean, I'm still like very lax about it. Like you have to sign this agreement if you're gonna work with me, and like we say, like if I don't find you a house within 6 months, and the agreement's I'm not your agent anymore.
That's like the standard though, right?
Kinda, yeah. So like, but like I don't. As soon as you have that conversation with me and say, hey, you want me to want to be my agent? I'm like. You know, I'm not gonna be like, I'm gonna send that to you right now. You know, like sign it right now. Now I'm your agent. You know,
sign it, bitch.
It's like I don't want to be like hounding people like that because I don't feel like that's like. I want to be like the realtor that I want to be is like a very lax like type of presentation. Like I'm a lax type of guy. Like I get the job done,
right?
Like exactly what needs to be done, and over the top sometimes, but like. I don't want to like hound you. I'm not like if you talk to me about buying a house and they're like, yeah, I want to start the process, and like I'm like, cool, here's these steps. I'm not gonna be like, hey, did you follow up? I mean, obviously, like I'll follow up a couple times, but like I'm not gonna hound you in getting a house.
Yeah.
It's just that's your dream. That's your goal. You know, and I'm here to help you facilitate it. It'd be like, cool, you have all the studio equipment, but people like hounding you, like, come interview me. You know, like just if you're down here, do it. You know, just get the job done. Do the job.
Well, like I always look at it like this. So my biggest fear is if someone cancels last minute.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's like
I
can't rebound from that.
No.
And we're on a once a week recording schedule.
Oh, okay.
Like this isn't fucking Joe Rogan.
No.
I don't have people beating down the door, want to come in every day for 2 hours to sit down and talk. And I totally get like people's lives are busy.
Yeah.
But it's like if you commit to something.
Commitments, bro.
Dude.
Yeah, just have some decency, guys. That's exactly why, like, it comes to, like, football, too, because, I mean, like, I wanted to be at those practices. I couldn't make all the practices, and it's like, do you want me to play in the game? I mean, obviously, you want me to play in the game so I can go get picks for you, but I don't feel like I earned the spot because I wasn't at practice doing these things.
Right.
You know, it's like, you got to commit to it. If you commit to something, you stay with it, really. Like, that's your word.
Well, it's like I was telling you before, like we had a recent guest that came in all fucked up on Molly, like 36 hours in.
Yeah, dude.
Like I can.
That's a trip,
dude. I can like, what like basically short of a miracle, what me and Lee did for that, and we're not like I was telling you, like I don't think we're gonna release it. We'll probably do it in clips. We'll see.
And do like little snippets, maybe.
Yeah, but like I almost want to do like a PSA, like. Don't fucking do this.
Podcast etiquette.
Yeah, like, don't do this.
It might be kind of funny, but...
I have some ideas. I got people I'm going to bring in and see if I can try to salvage.
Yeah, I definitely... I wouldn't say, like, necessarily, like, call them out, but, like, just as far as, like, etiquette goes, you know what I mean?
The only thing I would...
I didn't name the person socially. I was just like, hey, just saying, if you commit to something...
The only reason why I brought it up is because, like... with that one episode we had with the Molly dude, like Lee and I are trying to build a brand. Or of course, yeah. Lee, me, and Jaden are trying to build a brand.
Yeah.
You know, like I have a level that, you know, I have to, you know, get at out of everyone. So to me, it was like ballsy on your end though, and because it's like you are your name.
Yep.
You're selling your name.
Yeah. Don't waste my time. That's what I'm about. Like, if you want to get it done, like I'm the guy that'll get it done. Like, straight up, we will get it done. I will have you in a house. It will happen.
Right.
It'll take time. Some things do take time.
Right.
I've got one client that's like, we're like a year out. They went through a bankruptcy, you know, like they've got to build some things. They've got to correct some things. But, like, that's the process, though. Like, I've got a few that are just, it's just a waiting game. Like, we're correcting credit right now or doing other things. Like, it's literally just, like, waiting for things to happen.
I hate the whole credit thing. The whole credit system to me is so fucking stupid.
It is pretty messed up. What would the United States of America's credit rating be?
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah, it'd be like,
you know what I mean? You're 34 trillion in debt and you're not paying it back.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Like, you're on the street.
Someone give me a loan.
No
I'm
shit.
Joe Biden.
Fuck, no, you're like Donald Trump back in the day.
Yeah, dude.
I just bankrupt 3 fucking casinos. I need $100 million to go buy this. It's like, who the fuck is giving you that money?
$100 million.
God damn. I'm like,
yeah, no, like it's insane. The credit system, it is kind of messed up. But like also, if you think about like let's like dumb it down to like the mom and pop, you know what I mean, like banks. You know what I mean, the families that like built their actual money like in a legitimate manner.
Not the Rothschild way.
It's like the gnarliest people ever,
right?
Dude, the worst ever in like society. But yeah, I mean, like on the mom and pop level, like, hey, I want to borrow some money from you. And like, well, how do we know? You know, like, credit is very, very important. It's the most important thing you can have in America.
I get it. Like,
it sucks though.
Well, it's like you make one little mistake and you pay for it for almost ever.
Straight up.
And it's and then like the fact that they never teach you the little like tips and tricks
in school, actually.
Oh, dude, like I tell people all the time, like high school for me was just fun.
Yeah,
I didn't learn shit.
Yeah,
but it's like if I were to go back to high school, like if I was gonna like make my own school, I'm teaching you finance,
right,
math, maybe a little science. I don't give a fuck about Utah history. I don't give a fuck about world history because it doesn't get you anywhere.
Right.
I mean, is everyone trying to be an archaeologist?
Focus courses, you know what I mean? Like
right, and sex education. Stop getting pregnant, fucking high school.
Dude, tell me about that. That's real shit right there. All these kids these days, it's literally like we're living in idiocracy.
Oh, it's horrible.
It's insane.
I was going to ask you. Oh, the wife.
Yeah.
How's she doing?
Good, dude. We're good. But yeah, I was kind of like talking also about like, so I've been back in Utah for like 2 years now. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's like 2.5 probably. But yeah, so not this last October, but the October before that, like October, I think it was 28th, our house burned down.
Oh shit.
So
I didn't know that.
All of last year was like a rebuild. Like that's a thing. It's like been insane.
So did the insurance have you in like hotel rooms and shit?
So our insurance, pretty much they're like, well, we'll get you a place. We'll pay your rent. You know, and I was like, oh, cool.
Well, insurance is also another fucking scam. But
terrible scam. But also, there's important points in this we will talk about to like motivate your listeners too on this. But so insurance put us up for, it was like 6 months, like 6 months of rent payments. But it's like, okay, cool. My house wasn't done for 11. Like,
so
okay,
what am I doing with the other 5?
So I'm just paying this rent, you know, doing this to maintain. I had to find a month-to-month spot, you know, luckily, you know, it happened and worked out, but it was just a pain. And then my policy that we had we're owners of this condo, but the policy only covered 30,000 of personal items. If you could think about how fast that goes, like $30K is nothing.
Well, just $30K of personal items.
Personal items. You're talking about TVs, like couches. You're talking about watches.
There's $30K in this fucking room right now.
In 2 cameras.
I mean,
yeah. Okay. Cool. Your house,
nothing.
So your house burned down. Here's $30K. Oh, also, we don't want to give you the whole $30K. Can you verify that there's $30K in possessions in the house? I was like, here's $100 because I lived. You know, I have a credit card. I put everything pretty much on.
Right.
And then just turn that receipt in.
Right.
So they're like, here it is. There's all these items, and they're like, oh wow, you guys really had it. Okay.
We thought we were just fucking with you.
Cut the check, and we're like, okay, cool. You know, it was just a terrible process. But I mean, the rebuild is beautiful because I got to be like hands on.
Yeah.
And give my input and like kind of redesign a little bit.
Well, it's like a construction loan without having the construction loan.
Dude, yeah, exactly. It's like, what do you want to do? This is your budget pretty much, but like, go. Okay. Yeah, I have some ideas. At that time, I was doing some luxury home building, doing some finish work. And like, I was like, yeah, I could definitely, we're definitely doing a dope bathroom, a dope kitchen.
Well, that's what
everything
sells.
else are going to skimp.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's pretty much it. Just get by. And it's awesome. It's definitely it's definitely the best condo in the complex. You know, we have 2 condos in that complex. The other is just more basic, you know, but this one is definitely it's awesome.
So you rent the other one out?
Yeah. So that's just there. But this one, is like it's the best. I'm like, and I see this and I'm like, I want to remodel the other one. No, like that let's do that one. Then we charge more than rent there, but it's like it's getting by, so it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, but that's like the method pretty much. Like if you can get 10 properties, if you can have your name on 10 properties, and have like those passive rents coming in and just maintain that, like you can retire. That's it.
So there's a guy that works at my work who's an owner operator. So in my world, he owns his own tractor.
Yeah.
And then we supply the trailer.
Okay.
And then, like, during our busy seasons, he just runs around picking up people's shit, delivering it all across the country. He probably makes about $300,000 a year before taxes.
Kills.
And he just bought his 5th rental property.
Dope.
He'll tell me all the time, he's like, I don't need to work in the winter. And if I only need like $500 a month to survive.
Right.
I'm making money doing other shit.
Yeah.
You know,
got to make money while you're sleeping. That was the idea. Like be like behind the brand, like wanting to do a clothing brand. Because it's like, I mean, also I've always been like passionate about like fashion and things like that. You know, like it's awesome to create, but having streams of revenue that are working for you.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. And real estate's the one for me. It makes sense.
You feel like it's your calling, right?
I don't know, not necessarily a calling, like
Maybe right.
I like to sell, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm a salesman technically, but like it's something that is just it's a passion for sure. I like to help people get into a position that's like better for them. It's rewarding, you know. I had one friend like he bought a house and he had an issue with the garage, and I was like, oh man, like I hate that, you know, I didn't notice that, the inspection didn't notice it, but it's like it sucked, and he had to fix the garage, but it was I felt kind of bad, you know, because I was like, dang, you know, like that's a product I sold, you know, like I have the pride behind it,
right.
You know what I mean? I felt bad that he had to do this, but also I was like, yeah, but he probably made like, you know, $15K in equity, you know, over the like 6 months.
Right.
So it's like we're good because we found him a good property.
Right.
Found him a sick little spot in West Valley. Like there's so many properties available. Like there's good deals. It's scary. So as the interest rate drops, more buyers are going to come into the market.
Right.
Which means prices go up. So like now's a really good time because you're still at like a higher interest rate, because we could do the 2-1 buy down.
Right.
And get you a lower rate. Plus then you get the competitive price instead of like everybody wants to buy this, you know, right now. So
here's a big reason why, for me personally, I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Is in my industry, we see recessions before general public. So last year we were down 30%.
Okay.
So going into this year, we haven't got the new year projections yet. So if it decreases anymore, then I know like at some point next year, we're going to hit a wall and it's going to get bad.
Think so?
I don't think it's going to be 08 bad, because that was a whole market that was just fucked.
Yeah.
Where this is
that
more
was impractical practices.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, they're giving people loans just like my parents. And they're like, hey, you could pay for this house.
Right.
And they're like, really?
Well,
they
then
get the house and then they lose their ass.
Right. So like the recession I think we're going to have is you can't borrow money at 0% forever. And then you can't deal with a COVID type situation where you're paying people to stay at home.
No.
You have to pay the piper back. And I get it, with inflation, we're paying it, you know.
Right.
But I don't think that's corrected itself yet.
No. There's another way. I mean, maybe you could just take a little bit from that military budget. I don't know. It's pretty big, but.
Or you just you just go more libertarian on everything. We can talk about it, because you and I have had some pretty epic battles online.
Yeah, battles. Dude, as far as like politics go, I hate politics. I don't believe that any president has ever really gave a fuck about the people. It's just a 2-party system. It's completely funded by big businesses, pretty much. So it's like.
So I agree with you 100%.
You know.
This might come as a shocker to you based off of like our previous discussions. I actually don't like our government. They're inefficient.
Right.
Both parties suck.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not saying overthrow the government. I'm not talking anything like that. But something has to change.
Well, they're talking about, meme culture, right? Yeah. That's what we live in. But the one thing, there was a great statement, and it just stated that the problem is not the guy who served for 4 years. It's the people that serve for 70 in Congress.
Exactly.
You know, it's like,
exactly.
that's got to go. You guys are inside trading, and like it's all obvious. It's blatantly obvious. Like there.
Well, you got like Pelosi for an example.
Come on.
I mean,
how do you afford that house?
As a speaker, she's making like $185,000.
Yes.
And you're living in the richest San Francisco district.
Interesting.
But your net worth is over $300 million.
Wow, how'd you do that?
And then you look at like the actual trades, like the buys and sells on the timing on everything. Like she was dumping stock before they announced COVID.
Right. Oh, didn't know about it though. No, that's not insider trading.
No, like how are you not in fucking prison for that? Like other people go to prison for that.
I feel like, I mean, that's just how our judicial system is. Like,
it's all fucked up.
You're in power, you're good. It's so whack, dude. America is definitely fucked up in so many aspects. It's also, I mean, my wife is from Russia, so I mean, she also reminds me that it is incredibly beautiful. Like, she's like,
yeah, I mean,
like you may not like some things.
She's like, stop.
But Putin,
yeah. Like, stop being American bitch. Have it good.
Honestly, though, it's so funny. Like, I mean, she's from Russia. Like, she moved here when she was 15. So, I mean, it's crazy the culture shock that she went through. She was like watching Tupac videos like California Love, being like, Americans are fucking crazy.
Oh, I bet.
I was like, you mean like the Mad Max ones? Like we have tire for shoulder pads and stuff? I'm like, that's so sick. Like that was your exposure to America is Tupac?
You're like, she's like, look at the tan on that guy. You're like, you know, he's African American.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, we don't have those in Russia.
Yeah, what's that? It's so funny.
What's crazy is like American culture.
Yeah.
It's like just global, like the American entertainment, I should say.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, like we entertain the world, really.
I mean, the world, man, with our music, our movies.
Yeah.
Everything. The world looks to us. We set the trends.
Lee, I want to entertain the world.
I don't want to, dude.
I want to entertain the world.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
That's your dream. That's your dream right there, you know? I don't want to, dude. I don't want to entertain the world.
Well, it's funny because when I was asking you about, like, do you feel like you're working your dream, you know, in the real estate deal, when I initially had this very infant idea of possibly doing a podcast, like most people will listen to a podcast and either pick up knowledge as far as what the topic is,
right,
or just be entertained because it's like a comedy
just
thing,
banter.
Or
yeah,
you know what I mean. I would like actually listen and remember like questions that were asked,
right,
and like later on in life, you know, people would always come to me for advice, and I'd like sit and talk to them. It didn't matter what it was,
right.
And I tell them all the time, I don't have the best advice. I'm only giving you the advice that I would do.
I don't have the answer, Sway.
I don't. No, but like I tell people all the time, like I only give you advice based off of how I would play it, and I'm human. There's human error. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's how I got my Dr. Jonathan Peters. That was an inside joke between a friend of mine.
Nice.
And I just ran with it. So anyway, like
whatever works, dude.
Well, so anyway, like, you know, coming up with this idea, you know, and then like starting to tell people, they're like, oh, well, what, you know, what's your show going to be about? And I'm like, everything.
Yeah.
Every show's different.
It's whatever, depending on the guest, whatever they bring to the table.
Dude, but I mean, like, look at this conversation. You know, I wanted to bring you on for like real estate and like your clothing line, and you know, pick your brain on your business experience.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about a million different things already.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm like, it's about everything, and they're like, well, you know, I don't get it. I was like, just tune in, just listen to one.
Yeah.
You know? And that same guy who gave me the nickname Dr. Jonathan Peters, you know, I actually posted something about it, and he ended up texting me. He's just like, so what's the podcast about? I'm like, everything. And he's just like, go for it. And he used to be like one of my worst critics.
Really?
Oh, dude, he would rip me up for the stupid shit.
Was it somebody that you actually like viewed credible too? So like you took it personally?
Just put it this way. I would consider him like a brother, and him and I rarely talk anymore.
Oh, okay.
And anyway, like, he's like, get it. You have the voice for it. Go. I was like, cool. Like, that is kind of what set that trajectory.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, on your end, with, like, the real estate thing, or even, like, ideas you have for, like, the future. Like,
yeah.
Because you've done so much, dude.
Yeah, I thought about doing podcasts also, but, like, I don't... Like, so that's one thing, too. Like, that for realty or for real estate, also, if you're looking for real estate, go to hessre.com, HESSRE.com.
Advertise that
Sign
shit.
up, check it out. But yeah, as far as like realty goes, it just, I don't know.
Well, I never took you as someone who likes helping other people. So it's kind of cool to see you
Yeah.
20 years later.
I've done, like fashion was like all selfish. Skateboarding was selfish. You know, like now it's like doing something like this. I mean,
Right.
Building homes like that, that's awesome. But that's also like doing it for you too. You're doing it for a paycheck.
Right.
You know, doing real estate is a passion for that reason. Like you're going out and you're like getting someone like to a next level. It's all a level, right?
Yeah, it's a
and
video-
it's
it's
a
a video
home
game.
also. Yeah, it is honestly.
Yeah.
And like a home is like your first level. Like you get like an entry level home in a way. You know what I mean? Like you don't just go buy $1 million property unless you've got the capital because you're born into it or something like that. But like you can build that wealth by equity and like moving on up to the next things. Like
Right.
so it's the passion is to help people get into different positions that are helping them grow. You know, this same thing for you. Like you're giving people a platform to advertise their businesses. You're advertising yourself or your other businesses and sponsorships that are coming soon.
Hopefully, my whole thing is I just want to give people a voice that normally wouldn't have the platform to do
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Selfishly, I want to hear their story. You know what I mean? Because I feel like everyone has a very unique story.
Right.
You know, like I was telling you earlier, like me and Lee met each other through a mutual friend golfing.
Right.
And then through getting to know Lee and going through this experience, come to find out he knew one of my half sisters.
That's
like
awesome.
small fucking world type shit.
Right,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But it just adds to like what this is truly all about.
Right.
So, but anyway, it's cool to see like as a, you know, to transition from like a kid who was all about skateboarding
Yeah.
to going out there and like helping people achieve dreams, you know,
Yeah.
like not many people could say that.
Right. It's pretty awesome. And I always looked at it as like, I mean, this is like another way to like look at selfishly, but like I've sold everything from a wife beater to, or a tank top. You can't say wife beater anymore. That's not PC.
I'm going to have to edit that out.
Yeah.
I don't
I'm going to get canceled already. I'm not even on.
I don't edit anything. So.
No, but yeah, so I sold everything from that to a house and I'm like, now I want to do like a business. I want to sell, I want to help out like in a transaction like for a building. You know what I mean? Like it's just what's next for me, you know? I don't know, but it's interesting. I've always like there's always something else I'm looking at. Like I've done photography, I've been a writer, I was writing for Slug Mag for a while and like they put me in some cool positions where like I got to interview some cool people or whatever. You know, I got to write up a review for a Tech 9 show and he laughed at my writing. And so like he put it on his website and was like, this is the first time this writer has ever seen a Tech 9 show. So check this out. You know, and it was super funny. I made a joke about, because like the Bloods do this thing like soup woo, you know, and I'm like, so everyone in the line is obviously like super hungry because they're talking about soup, and I'm like, there's no soup here. I didn't see any soup like stands or nothing like that, and like they just thought it was like comical, you know, like I wrote it from like a white dude perspective, like kind of
Right.
you know dry, not knowing what Tech 9 was, you know, but I obviously knew what he was, but it's fun, but yeah, just different angles. I've done a ton of just random shit. It's weird.
You
Like,
still write it all?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I write. I'm just writing like raps or ideas or you know like kind of like I like to write down like a goal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like write down what you know like where I want to see myself go. You know, or like what I want to achieve next. Little things like that.
So what do you want to achieve next?
Really, it's hard because I want to be real estate full time. I want to be real estate full time. I'd like to be able to pick up the brand again and do that. But it's like life gets in the way of all of things, but it's for the right reason. Like it's kind of crazy. Like I have friends that, you know, they had opportunities to go play in the NFL, and then something happens and like their life spins and it goes this direction, you know, and then it's like completely beautiful and they're doing this, you know.
Right.
Life is just like that. So it's like you can have these plans, but destiny is just going to take over anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things you can't explain that happen to you in life
Exactly.
that push you in the direction.
So like I take it as just do whatever is kind of like fulfilling your soul.
Right.
You know what I mean? For the time being, like just do right by people. You know.
Right.
So like, I mean, I would love to just grow the business and keep that going. Just be, you know, be a great husband. We're now empty nesters. My wife's daughter decided to go live with her dad down in Mesquite and finish school down there.
Oh, I didn't know she even.
Yeah, she had 2 kids. Well, she has 2 kids, 20 and 17 now.
Oh, nice.
So I've raised them. We've been together for 15 years. So a long, long time.
Married for 2?
4.
4.
Yeah, 4. It'll be 4 this year. But yeah, it's been an interesting thing, like raising these kids, and now like they go and wife is you know distraught, like, oh my goodness, my kids are out, you know,
Right.
and I'm like, yep, no kids. Now it's adult time.
You know those
It's so
boxers
funny.
I have? I'm walking around with just them on.
Exactly, dude. It's so funny. Like it's just the dynamic changes a little bit, you know.
So,
But we didn't plan that either. So it's like I moved from Reno to be a part of her to come back home and like be a good like mentor, you know, like a father figure.
When she came here from Russia, she came to Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Okay. How did that
Yeah.
work? Like,
Dude,
how does that even happen?
Just picked here. I don't know.
Really?
I think they played darts, so they're just like tossing it and it just hit.
They're like, Joseph.
There it is. We're going. I have no idea.
Personal question.
Yeah.
You guys plan on having kids?
No.
No?
No. I don't want to have kids.
Like
at
you
all.
did it with the 2.
Yeah, I mean, I raised them, you know, with her. So I mean, we've been, through thick and thin, you know, like I've been there, like I guess a father figure for them, you know. Actually, even like these kicks are a gift from Dimitri. I was like, that's the dopest gift anyone's ever given.
those
me.
are sick.
Like some Lance Mountain Jordan 1s, sick.
Right.
Like they're super rare. And he's like, I just want to give these to you as Father's Day gift. I was like, bro, that's amazing. Like, thank you. Like that was like, oh, you know what I mean? Like touches you. But it's really, life is kind of crazy. You never know where it's going to go. So I mean, like every day, just trying to just be better at the business. It's like just take one thing at a time. Just like you, like wake up and whatever can make this thing grow. Let's take
Right.
one step that way.
Right.
So like whether it's like or continued education for real estate, whether it's just like browsing, like looking at the market, like, oh cool, days on market average 55 days, average sales price 605. You know, like
Yeah.
it's like there's all these statistics, and being like a football guy too, we read these things. It's like numbers matter, you know.
Right.
Like even though they don't matter to my buyers aren't trying to buy like a $700,000 house, you know. Like
Your job's to sell them the dream.
yeah, my job is just to get you the keys, bro.
Right.
Let you drive it realistically,
Right.
like, and your work history, your credit history, like gets you in that position. So like, I just hope you facilitate it. That's all it is, and it's a beautiful thing. But I mean, we'll see. Like, I'm seeing like there's that company Homie that came in.
I haven't heard of this one.
Homie, they
I've heard of Homie.
yeah, they like the agents like make like a flat rate, but like
Oh, instead of like the 3% or whatever.
yeah, but Homie just takes a massive amount.
Why the fuck would you sign up with them?
I don't know, to get transactions, like to make it happen. It's like
So they're feeding you leads.
they give you good leads, and you go and like you might have to run around and do all this. Like
See,
for
that
them,
takes
but
all the personal shit out of it because
it's
it
not
just
person,
turns
it's a robot then.
right. Just turns into turn and burn.
It's a robot, and I don't want to be that. Like
No.
I don't want to be a robot for people. I want to be like, hey, what's up, man? Oh, I've seen you working at this. I've seen you do this. Let's get you this next thing. Let's
Right.
get you to level up. You know, let's go and like build that relationship. So it's like that's like lifetime type stuff. It's like
Yeah.
we're friends here. You know.
Well, right, because if you build that relationship and you do a good job,
Yeah.
you're probably getting the next one and
Yeah.
the next one and the next.
And hopefully, like the referral from them or like their friends, you know, which already is in the works. But it's
What's the real estate like in Reno?
oh, dude, it's the prices. I mean, was like just going through the roof when I left. 'Cause that's a couple years ago. You know, near the end of COVID, right? So you had a lot like. Things were just booming there. I mean, like I said, I made $70K in 3 years off a condo just of equity. Like that's insane. Like that's a lot. But it's just that market is very similar to Salt Lake as far as like elevation goes. You got a lot of people moving from California to there.
You have the resort up there.
Yeah, and Tesla, they have a bunch. There's a bunch of tech companies that are moving in. Like Toyota has a factory there. Google has a factory there. Like there's a lot going on in Reno. So a lot of the real estate's like booming up there too. But I mean, I had to come home though. It just had to come home, like be dad. You know.
Do you feel like had you stayed in Reno, still made it work with the wife, you would be a little bit further ahead in your career?
I wouldn't be doing real estate.
No?
I would have been a safety guy still.
That's true, because you had a cushy
Yeah,
job.
I had a good job that I was just doing, but I wasn't happy there at all. Like, it got kind of crazy too, but yeah, so, I mean, I like smoking weed. That's been a thing for my whole life. Like, you know, it's always been there. I don't take pills. I don't do any of all that bullshit, but I'll smoke weed. And with that job, I had to quit smoking weed. And like, I was like, cool, this is what it is. And the job was cool, but also it's like 500 miles away. And also I'm sober guy, you know, like.
But that changes who you are as a person.
Exactly.
And it's not the person you wanted to be.
No, I didn't want to be like that. You know, like, in the people that I work with, like, they were so grumpy. They're away from their families. And I'm like, this guy's 35 years in the trades. He's going to retire in whatever he wants to, you know, but like, he's miserable. Yeah, he's got money, but he's fucking pissed. Like, every day you talk to him and he's just the worst dude. It's like, what's wrong, bro? But I'm like new into the field. Right. So like, they're like, why are you always so peppy, all happy? I'm like, because I guess my life's not miserable. I don't know. Like,
well, I mean, that's who you are as a person anyway.
Yeah.
You've always been that guy.
Right. But it's just interesting, like, working with them, though, and, like, kind of got burnt on it. Because I was like, dude, you're always pissed. I hate it.
Well,
so,
that
like,
negative energy feeds
right
into you.
Yeah. And as a safety guy, I got to, like, work with their emotions, you know. And, like, you're spending more time with your crew than you are your family.
Right.
I was seeing my family, like, 4 days a month.
Right.
You know, so it's, I mean, obviously FaceTime every day or whatever, but it wasn't the same. So, like, I wanted to be home anyway to see Pasha, to be around her, and, like, to, you know, just be, like, from, like, 15 to now, like, those are, like, critical daughter years. You know what I mean?
A lot can go wrong.
You know, so I wanted to be here.
Right.
You know, and then life says, hey, curveball, she wants to go live with her dad for the last year of high school. I'm like, okay, excuse me. That's a curveball, but all right. I could have still been in Reno, but, you know, whatever. Because that was the main reason I chose to, like, say that I moved here for. But also, like, leaving that job was one thing. Money, it's kind of crazy. Like, money takes you the soul.
I believe that.
You know?
I do believe that.
You make good money, but you don't have any time.
Well, it's like, I mean, I can give you a million different examples. Like me personally, I don't base my own value off of how much money I make.
Right.
I base my value off of, like, how I treat my inner circle. You know, how the relationships I have with, you know, certain family members.
Okay.
But, like, someone like my brother, for an example.
Okay.
His whole identity is based around how much money he's going to make.
Okay.
And it's like, and then at that point it becomes an addiction.
And like money, yes, success.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, you know, explaining this to my dad one time, because, you know, he'd ask me, you know, when are you going to buy your house? When are you going to make this next step, like you talked about, you know, in the video game?
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, I'd give my reasons, because there was a time, you know, well before any of this, I didn't know if I wanted to stay in Utah.
Right.
And I didn't want to be tied down to something.
Right.
Where, you know, if I wanted to pick up and go, I would go.
Right.
Now, I've found a new love for Utah. I don't plan on going anywhere. But anyway, like, I would tell him, like, it didn't matter where, you know, if I bought the house in Sandy, Utah, and paid double what it's worth, like, you would be happy for me because I have this nice-ass house.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I would. I go, what if I bought the house in Rose Park, though? Mm-hmm. He's like, well, I'd be happy for you, too, but I'd be a little concerned. I go, that's the difference between you and I. Some people need big, lavish lifestyle things.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll live in the fucking dumpster behind Smith's.
If I own it.
Like, I don't care.
I'm the same way. My goal is, like, just a piece of land where I don't really have close neighbors. I want to have just... my goal really is like a container home. I want to build a container home. I've got like a design. Like,
those are dope. I like the barn dominiums.
They're so sick.
I know.
You can do so much with them.
I know.
I mean, like, being that I've done a lot with just in all facets of building, I feel like the container home is the sickest because, like, it's just so cookie cutter. But they've got like so many cool ways you can build homes nowadays. But it just kind of appeals to me because I've always wanted to build something like that, something custom, you know.
Right.
our houses out in West Jordan. It's like cool.
They're cookie
cutter. It's all the same shit. It's like, what do you think about this house? Same as that house.
Well, it's funny because it's like you can go into one of those neighborhoods, it's brand new, and every third house is the same, and the customization is very limited to just colors.
Yeah.
Or the type of fucking carpet you have or you want.
Or some weird random like bay window or
nothing that's gonna like make the break or break the bank, but they're gonna charge you a fortune to make the change.
Yeah.
But there's no nothing is unique.
Right.
Custom
home builders charge an arm and a leg too. Like that's just kind of how it goes if you want something customizable or you just do it yourself. Get those fixer uppers and do it. Which is actually like that's pretty awesome. I would love to get into that. Where like I can help somebody, like some investor come in and we'll find these properties and you could have me even like help direct like the remodel.
Right.
I just did a fire rebuild.
You know what you're doing.
And it's sick. Like it's awesome.
What's your thoughts on like the modern homes?
I mean, their style, right, is so basic and everyone just wants, that's kind of how.
Like, do you feel that those are picking up steam here?
New, like the style of homes?
Like the modern home.
Oh, for sure. 100%. It's also easier to get done nowadays, too.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, you get some like shaker cabinets. It's like a style of cabinet, right? It's just super easy. Some basic pulls. Or quartzite countertops. Like that's everywhere. Like then it's just picking colors and things like that. But there's certain things that you can do that are just a little bit different, like different tweaks of it. Our entire bathroom is like completely like floor and like walls is all tiled. Like it looks like a Vegas bathroom. It's so sick. Yeah, it's awesome. They're like the big like 36-inch tiles, like they're big. So it's really dope. It looks awesome. But like nowadays, like you go into like a new subdivision and it's like all of them can kind of look the same. They do like a cheap laminate flooring, it's all the same type of stuff.
But it's like, because Utah is just known for the traditional home.
Yeah.
But like in Vegas, the modern home is like the new thing.
Right.
So like, because my dad used to live in Vegas and he had a modern home.
Mm-hmm.
Like his real estate agent pulled the like statistics on what's selling more traditional or modern. It was modern by far.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't see a whole lot of modern homes at least in the valley.
Right.
You see them all the time up in
at
Park
Draper,
City.
those like that.
Well, Park City, they're full.
Oh, those are like estates.
That's the California crowd coming here.
Yeah, there was actually a statistic it was in our sales meeting recently. This is like maybe November. It was like up to that point there had been like 30% of transactions in Utah were cash.
Yeah,
like people just coming in that have cash.
Right.
It's like you just have
like 2.5.
Just in there?
Right.
Just in the account?
Right.
Apple Pay? It's just right there. You can just, whoa.
Right.
Like that's crazy to me. But like that's the thing.
How many people you think are selling their Cali home?
Dude.
And just coming out here to...
A lot.
A lot more out here.
A lot. A ton. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like 30% of the buys were...
selling your house out there for a couple mil.
Yeah. Going out there...
a lot further out here.
Oh, 100%. People are going out there and they're copping, they're buying like,
Your phone ringing?
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. I just heard something.
Yeah, my bad. That's not ethical.
You're good. Don't worry about it.
But but a lot of people are just selling their houses in California and moving here because dude, what's going on in California is gnarly. Like,
dude, it's disgusting.
It's pretty crazy.
I used to be a killer fucking state to go to.
Right.
I mean, I spent a lot of my childhood.
I love Cali, but like, dude, finding even like I worked out there with. So when I was out there for Tesla, I wasn't working for Tesla, but we were a contractor. We were building for them, and they had the Fremont station also. So like that's where like the cars are all built. So I had to go down to Fremont.
So you're Northern California, right?
This is the Bay,
okay,
pretty much. It's like right outside of Oakland. So I was like, sick. I got to go visit home again. Right. I was like, yes, let's go. I loved it out there. So sick, but like, I'm like looking at renting a spot. And it's like $3,000 minimum. Like, and this is like Fremont. I'm like, damn, like that's crazy. But they call it like, so that's Silicon Valley. So the most amount of money is right there. All these people. So it's like $3K for a shithole. And I'm like, I'm not built like this. Like,
but look at it like from their point of view. Like everyone knows California is crowded.
Right.
And if you grow up there, you get used to it.
Right.
Whatever. But then when, a lot of like the crime areas start to bleed into these other neighborhoods.
Yeah.
You have an opportunity, like you bought your home in like, I don't know, 1980 for like $400,000.
Yeah, if that.
If that.
Way lower than that, I'm sure.
But then, 40 years later, it's worth like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
You sell it, turn around and pay 2 on a home up in Park City.
Yep.
More land, no neighbors, twice the home.
Well, I'm seeing a lot, there's a lot of developments also. I mean, we say more land, but a lot of developers are just like cramming in.
I hate that shit.
Everywhere.
That's all like Daybreak.
It's like,
I can't stand that shit.
Like, there's a lot of people that love the look of those homes, and I think they look kind of cool, whatever. There's a lot of variant, but I built some of those houses, and there was there was a time when we were working on 2 houses next door to each other. And we were passing tools to the other house,
right
from the roof,
through the window.
Yeah, we're that close. I don't want to be that close, where your alarm clock can wake me up, and we're neighbors.
Right.
That's too close for me. I don't like that. And it's just that community. It's well, they have awesome amenities. It's if you I've heard everyone just always getting complaints on them. Because if you have any loud music, it's complaint, complaint.
You can't.
Your dog's barked. Complaint.
You can't do shit out there.
So it's why would you pay for this crazy HOA, also crazy inflated home price, to live way too close to your neighbor that's just going to complain about you? That doesn't make sense to me. I'd rather buy an old house that has some issues for way cheaper and fix it up that has a lot.
That's why I think Sugar House is so appealing.
Amazing. Sugar House is also very expensive.
But you're fucking going to pay for the home.
So expensive.
Everything has gone way up there.
Yeah, it's so gnarly. It's so expensive there. But I mean, Rose Park, that's just, that area is booming. Poplar Grove, that area is booming. Got a lot of development. Even out west. It's crazy. I mean, West Jordan. Yeah.
Way out west.
Dude, way out west.
Oh, they got another high school out there.
It goes all the way now to Copperton.
Yeah.
Which that's crazy.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was you take a drive and you think you're going to a whole different weird world going to Copperton, which also you kind of are.
I remember trying to lose my virginity to a girl
in Copperton.
Well, just driving out the middle of nowhere to go at it in the car.
Oh yeah.
Now it didn't play out that way. We ended up going back to her house, but true story. We're literally taking fucking New Bingham all the way up to Bacchus.
Oh my god.
I'm just trying to look for a place to pull over. There's no one out there. Yeah, there's no one out there. But now, you go up there, like you said, it's fucking packed. There's so many houses out there.
Yeah, it's full. It's gnarly. And houses are not cheap out there either. It's all expensive. It's crazy. That's what I love about homes, too, though. I mean, it's just the fluctuation in the market, the development, the design. It all appeals to me. It's awesome.
What do you think about Utah County?
I think it's cool. That was the latest transaction, actually. It was in Utah County. Brand new home. It was $329,000. Because it was a brand new construction, I was able to get the dude $20,000 from Joe Biden, just because he's supporting new construction. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty cool. It's just there's a lot of appeal with a new construction home. You get all of it. It's good. So I mean, it's kind of, that area is kind of cool. It's also, I mean, it's booming. It was in Payson, so I mean, it's right there in it was I think it's called Quiet Hills or something like that. It's the subdivision. But you can see the windmills and stuff like that. It's
really?
Right there.
Okay.
It's pretty cool, but it's also not quiet. There's a train that goes right through there, so I don't know why they called it that. But
it should be Roaring Hills.
Yeah, Roaring Hills. Yeah. No, but I mean, it's just cool to get at people and he leveled up.
Yeah.
He leveled up. That's it. Him and his lady leveled up, and it was an awesome blessing for him. So it's cool.
The only reason why I ask is because the ex-wife, so my former mother-in-law.
Yeah.
So we were in high school. She sold their West Jordan home and bought a home in Lehigh.
Okay.
So
Lehigh's booming too.
So you take off to Timpanogos Canyon.
Yeah.
So all of the right south end of the road is all Lehigh until you get to a certain point.
Yeah.
Anyway, she bought brand new home out there.
Nice.
And I remember driving out there late at night, try to make that relationship work.
Yeah.
And there was nothing out there. There was the fucking Micron plant.
Yep.
The one-way highway up to Timpanogos, no lights, So every time you drove at night, it was like Russian roulette. You're going to hit a deer.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
She ended up hitting a
nuts
deer.
out there, I bet.
Oh, it was crazy. And now you go out there, you got
It's packed
fucking
in.
Adobe,
Yep.
Porsche dealerships. You got this. You got the mall.
I got a trespassing ticket for trying to go like look for skateboarding spots at Micron. I just passed like the tent. There was a dude like out back smoking. We didn't see him, so we just drove right by. And we drive in there and we're like, take a lap in the parking lot, just looking for skate spots, like young kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's whatever. We see this dude, super cop. He's backing up all super fast and throwing it in reverse.
Fucking Paul Blart.
We're like, oh no, what's going on? He does this wicked J turn, dude. I was
really?
like, oh my God, yeah.
Damn.
And he like rolls up on us like, stop right now, you guys are trespassing. It's like, whoa, bro, we didn't even see you in the little box you had. You're out back. Right. Sorry. Like, our fault. He's like getting a ticket and everything.
He's like, do you know where this is? This is Area 52.
Dude, I was
like, dude, calm down. We're not going in the goddamn plant.
It's like Terminator in there, dude.
Yeah, no
it's
shit.
like you got to protect
Skynet.
it. Yeah, it is. You got to protect it. It was crazy though. I learned from that moment, like, don't tell the truth to cops. My buddies lied and they didn't have tickets then. I actually told the truth, and I was like, oh, I'm the only one with a trespassing ticket? Cool.
How did they get out of it?
They just lied about their identity. It's like, okay.
Do you have your ID? Nope.
I did. They didn't. I was honest. I was like, oh man, what a loser.
So you probably don't remember this because this is like our sophomore year in high school. Mm-hmm. I was one of the idiots that got caught playing on the tracks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it was me and two other people. One of them you were neighbors with.
Okay, yeah.
And then his sister was with us too.
Okay.
And then the other one was...
Playing on the tracks? What are you doing?
Well, hold on. It was stupid. So the other one was... I'll just tell the initial because I'm not about dropping names. BT.
Yeah.
So we're going out to Nightmare on 13th.
Okay.
So your neighbor's parents dropped us off.
Uh-huh.
Took tracks all the way downtown. Went and did the fucking haunted house thing.
Yeah.
Got done. And it was later at night. And we were waiting for, we were waiting for his parents to show back up to grab us. Mm-hmm. So I want to say we were over off like the 106 track station.
Okay, yeah.
And I had I had one of those old Nebraska windbreakers.
Okay.
So I jump on the tracks, and then like we see the train coming, so I jump off. Mm-hmm. Well, then BT got cold, and I let him wear mine. He also jumped on the tracks too.
Okay.
Your neighbor didn't do shit; just sat there, didn't say anything because he was interested in the girl he was with.
Yeah.
And me and BT are fucking around.
Yeah.
So I get the jacket back, and as the parents pull up, here comes the tracks police.
Oh boy!
But it wasn't the tracks police at the time. It was just the tracks authority. Now they're
transit authority.
Now they're all fucking police officers.
Well, they're still transit authority. They just look legit.
Well, but I mean, if you look on like the side of their vehicles, it's tracks police or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, we get pulled aside, and they're like, "Did you know you put the train in E-stop?" We're like, "No, it was like far away." They're like, "Yeah, you put the truck or the tracks in E-stop. We now have to fine you for doing that." And so they're writing the ticket for BT, and I'm talking to the guy, and the guy's like, "Here's the deal. You can pay the $300 fine, and you can ride tracks again, or don't, and you can never ride tracks again."
Oh.
I mean, we're 16 years old.
Right.
So I'm like, fuck it. I'm getting a car next year. I'm not paying this shit.
Yeah,
he's like,
good.
you do what you want to do.
Yeah. Here's your option.
So BT tells his dad, pays the ticket, and then does community service so it doesn't show up on his record. Uh-huh. He doesn't know we're 16. He can't put that shit on anyone. No. So then I didn't tell my dad shit. And then one day in the mail, I got a credit thing saying that you're going to collections.
Oh, no.
And, like, I don't know if you remember my dad. Like, he'd fly off the handle pretty quick.
Okay.
So I'm upstairs. He's like, "Sean, get your fucking ass down here." I'm like, "Oh, what the hell did I do this time?" Uh-oh. So I go down and he's like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Well, what does it say?" And he's like, "It's for tracks or UTA."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Hold on a minute.
It's a fine."
I was like, "Oh, yeah, 4 or 5 months ago.
This happened."
Yeah. And he's just like, "You're an idiot. Why did you do that?" I was like, "I don't know. We didn't think we put the train in E-stop." He's like, "Well, they're trying to send you to collections." Mm-hmm. I was like, "Okay. I don't know what that means. I'm 16.
Yeah.
He's like, they can't do that. This is illegal. So he calls them up, and the lady's like, yeah, like he owes us at this point. It's like $400.
Right.
Like, you better pay it.
Like, no, I don't.
And my dad's like, no, you don't understand. The kid is 16 years old. He ain't paying shit. What you're doing is illegal. You're going to have to fucking eat the cost. So it never showed up on my record. But the funny part about that was I thought at one point that there was like wanted posters for all the people that offended. And if they recognize you, you'd get caught and have to go to jail.
Right.
So it probably wasn't until like 10 years later, because at that point I had vehicles and didn't use tracks.
Hadn't even ridden it?
No, but then I get on there and I'm like looking around like, oh, are they going to get me?
Right? No, you probably got away with that one. You're good. That's funny, though. I love our transit. They're actually developing it a ton, which actually increases real estate values a lot also. It's like going all the way it goes all the way to Payson pretty much. They're talking about having one going all the way to Vegas.
Damn.
Which would be sick. Can you imagine that?
I wish we got one of those like fucking bullet trains that Japan has.
No kidding. Why not?
Right?
I mean, that'd be amazing.
Like when we do our Mesquite golf trips, like the last couple I've driven down, and I fucking hate long trips. Mm-hmm. Like I had, like in my 4Runner, I actually have a 10-inch touchscreen, like a floating screen that I have it all rigged to where I go watch movies and shit.
Yeah, just chilling.
Yeah.
That's sick.
But anyway, yeah, dude, I can't do that shit.
No.
I wish we had a bullet train.
That'd be amazing. Have you ever ridden train, actually?
I did once.
Like to go west and east?
No. Well, so I I went on vacation with the ex-wife to New York.
Okay.
And my aunt and uncle live in not Baltimore. They live in Potomac, Maryland.
Okay.
And instead of trying to do the flight thing or working out the transportation, we just bought a train ticket.
Nice.
And then took off.
It just took a week?
Right into D.C. Yeah. No, it was probably like a 7 or 8 hour deal. Maybe not even that long. Okay. But it was cool, though, to ride in a train. I've never done that before.
It's awesome, dude. I rode it one time, the Zephyr from Reno to here to come pick up my motorcycle and ride it back.
Oh, yeah?
And it was so sick, dude. Like, such a random experience. I didn't know I had, like, a bar on the train.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, typical. There's going to be one dude in there that's fucking obliterated.
Have you ever been obliterated, like, on a train or a plane? Oh, no. Dude, that's a good time.
I can't imagine. I don't think I...
Dude, I did one where it was me and a girl. We were flying back to my aunt and uncle. Mm-hmm. So we were flying from here to D.C., and before we got on the plane, we stopped at a bar, had a couple beers. So we're feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
And we get on the plane, and I'm, like, looking at the menu, and I'm like, I'm on vacation. I don't fucking care. I want this, 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 and this. Mm-hmm. And they brought it all at once.
Oh, wow.
So her and I are, like, drinking the entire time.
Yeah.
Get off the plane, fucking gone.
Yeah.
And then, so my aunt and uncle, they're very bougie. They're part of your 1% or your 3%.
Okay. Gotcha.
Anyway, they had a car to come pick us up at the airport. Mm-hmm. Dude, I'm not joking. I probably walked around the fucking baggage claim 20 times. Couldn't find my shit. And then my aunt's calling me the whole time, like, where the fuck are you? I'm like, we're still at the airport. What are you doing at the airport? I can't find my fucking bags. How much have you been drinking? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Dude, it literally was probably a good half hour, 45 minutes before they actually took our bags off the fucking thing.
The carousel? Yeah.
And put it in like a Delta office.
Oh, wow.
So I had to go in and show them ID, the whole nine. Dude, it was so embarrassing.
That's so funny.
But I would do it again today, and I actually don't even drink that much anymore.
Yeah, dude, I've kind of kicked that habit. Trying to be sober guy and just stick with the trees. That's it. It's just drinking is such an easy thing.
I got really bad. Really? So like in my family, we have alcoholism, mm-hmm. and it got to the point where like at my current job, I kind of got handed a shitty deal like 4 months in. Okay. Like the guy that hired me was the GM quit, and he's like, here you go. Mm-hmm. And it was right during our busy season, and I'd never experienced anything like that in my entire life.
Oh, yeah.
So I used to get off work. So I'd get there at 6:30 in the morning, get off at 6:37 at night, Monday through Friday plus Saturdays, go straight to the bar,
jeez. Pull
pull out my laptop just to finish my own fucking job.
Yeah.
And then start drinking, have dinner. Next thing you know, I'm $150 a night.
Yeah.
Hammered.
Yeah.
Go home at 1 in the morning, get right back up, do it all over again, Monday through Saturday.
That's terrible. That habit will kill you, bro. That's crazy.
Oh, it was bad. It was so bad. Finally,
You don't even think about like those habits you're creating. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like it's just all of a sudden 10 years later, and you're like, wait, what? What's this? Turns around. I'm gonna do 75 hard right now. That's what I'm gonna do. And it's so fucking hard because your body's already had like 7 years of soft.
right.
You know.
Well, the best, like for me as a single person, like when I became single at 29, like I would talk to other women, and they're like, "Wait, you're divorced?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Now, when did you get married? How old?
2038.
How old are you?
We're the same age.
No, I mean when you got married.
We were 24, but we'd been together since juniors in high school.
Oh, okay.
So kind of a similar deal.
Yeah, I got you.
Anyway, like I'd meet new women. They're like, "Oh, well, you don't have any kids?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "You're a fucking unicorn."
Right.
And I'm like, "Cool, that's awesome to hear." At 38, divorced and not have any kids, they think there's something physically wrong with you. Like, no joke.
Well, fuck. That sucks. But like, it's like you're a product, right? You know, like you're a brand.
Yeah.
Even in like your dating life, everything.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you bring to the table? I guess like they think something's wrong with you because you've chosen not to procreate.
Well, there's that, and then like the universe has this lovely thing about they're like, "Here, Sean, here's 24 to 28-year-old girls,
Yeah.
mutual interest, the whole nine." But I'm like, "What do you do for a living?" "Oh, I'm a waitress." Done. Don't want it.
Don't want it?
Hell no.
Why not?
Because I don't want to be the one that's supporting their lifestyle.
Right.
Just because you're hot and your whole body's put together or whatever, I don't want to pay for your life.
I feel like, I mean, that is a hard thing too. But like, setting up a relationship. I mean, for our age too, like, there's like a bracket where it's like, if you're single, like you shouldn't be dating in this, because it's like it's just pointless. You know,
Right.
Unless you have like, yeah, I guess unless you have like something to offer that age group.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like, what do we have to talk about, bro? Like, my back hurts.
Right.
You're just wanting to go to the club?
Like, I got to get up at fucking 4:30 in the morning and go to work.
Yeah, I can't.
You're rolling in.
I'm very thankful I met my wife, and it's just.
How did you guys meet?
Actually, she was dating a friend of mine. And
I've done that before.
Yeah, he messed up, and she was single, and like I ran into her randomly at a show, and I was like, "Whoa, I've been waiting to run into you. Like, how are you? What's going on?" It was like hit it off again. Like, she's just always been like. I mean, immediately when I saw her, it was like "Oh, Dreamweaver," like I was like.
So you knew when you saw her.
The song played. I was like, "Dang, holy cow!"
Right.
And then I finally got like another chance. It was kind of a crazy story, but I ran into her, and I'm like trying to have a conversation with her, and I'm like sitting there, and like I go to sit down on this table. She's sitting on like a couch, like kind of like this. It's at the in the venue. It's like a upstairs, like little
I've been
bar outside.
You're here locally, right?
Yeah. So like she's sitting there, and I see her with her friend, and I go to have a conversation with her. I go to sit down on this table. Well, I sat down on this other girl's drink.
Oh shit.
Straight up knocked it over. And she's like, "Hey, it's my fucking drink." And I'm like, "Oh, here's some money. You just go get it. Go get another one."
You're like, I got to do this now.
Yeah. She's like, "Here you go." And so I have a conversation. The girl was like, she was chill. I was like, "Okay, I guess." Like leaves, gets another drink. Well, I ended up sleeping with that girl that night. The one I sat on her drink.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Got Karina's number, though. And I was like, "Okay, cool. Like, I'm going to call you after."
Yeah.
Like being like young dog status. Just what else can I do?
Right.
So funny. But like, yeah, then went through like the whole courtship process. Like it was really cool though. Like talked to my friend before, and I was like, "Hey man, like I ran into her. Is it cool if I take her out?" Like it was like a month of like just, "Hey, I'm working on it, trying to see if it's cool. I don't want to be a dickhead,
Right.
like line that up because I didn't want to burn my friend at all. He's my buddy." But yeah, it's like it was like all legit. And then, kind of just we're attached. Just, it's nuts.
So you're just like gasoline on fire.
Shit, it's just very flammable, very combustible.
Oh, that's good though, because like you experienced the whole single life.
Yeah.
Before you met her.
Yep.
I had the married life.
Yeah, right on. Yeah.
Like I would I always look at it like this when her and I first got together. I knew there was something like good between us.
Right. Some chemistry.
I was pretty much fucking retired. Mm-hmm. Where all you guys are out there doing your shit.
Yeah, you're just at home hanging out.
And then at 29, to have to redevelop yourself into how to talk to people.
Oh, Atlanta, yeah.
Oh my God, it was so bad.
I can't even believe that.
I had no idea what to fucking say to anyone because I like literally
social
felt
skills
so
were,
stupid.
Yeah, they were just taken.
Oh,
that's
gone,
crazy.
dude.
Like that's a crazy dynamic. I never thought about that angle. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing about life, though. Like you have so many different angles. Everyone else has like a whole different perspective they're dealing with. You know, so it's kind of crazy. But
so your old neighbor used to tell me all the time, because him and I have we reconnected later on in life.
Yeah.
And he's now with his wife.
Yeah.
And I would tell him some of like the crazy ass stories I'm experiencing that he used to experience at like 20, 21.
Yeah, single guy life.
I'm doing it at fucking 31.
Right.
So he's like, man, I just live vicariously through your stories.
That's hilarious.
And
yeah.
I'm like, okay, stop telling your wife these stories because every time I come over here, your wife wants to set me up with one of her hot friends, but doesn't want to do it because I did some douchebag thing.
Right. Now you've got all these tainted stories.
Right. No, I did the friend thing. I didn't ask for permission, so it was kind of shady.
Yeah.
Never would do that again.
Right.
But that, getting into that relationship, that's what kind of taught me a lot about life.
Relationships are crazy, bro.
They are.
It's the hardest thing. Being married is such an amazing thing, though. It's so fun.
Well, for me, it's like now, like when I go home, I don't have anyone. So I can't imagine what it's like sharing the bed with someone.
Right.
But I remember the days crawling into bed and always having that person next to you.
Right.
And then no matter what, well, I shouldn't say no matter what. At that time, whatever you got into, they always had your back.
Right.
All right, welcome back.
Welcome back.
All right, back to the marriage thing.
Yeah.
I'll give you some advice
Yeah, sure.
where I feel like I failed. And one of the things where I failed is a lot of people let their pride get in the way.
Oh, yeah, you got to win the argument, right?
Well, there's that, and then what I would tell most people is no matter what the reason why your girl is upset that she tells you is never truly the real reason.
Right.
And you don't know that until you actually sit down and have the conversation and you can start peeling back all the onion.
All the layers of the thing that's actually upsetting her.
Because the beautiful thing with women is they're so complex.
Yeah.
And like, I've never actually had this conversation, but it wouldn't surprise me if some point in the future that I did with a woman. But like, there's been times where like I've had like deep talks with the person that I was with. Mm-hmm. And, the initial deal is, well, I'm upset because I had a bad day.
Right.
Okay. Well, go into that.
Yeah.
Tell me about your day. And then the next thing you know, at the end of the conversation, they're upset because they couldn't find matching socks in the morning. That's what set them off, and then it just snowballed from there.
Right.
So, like,
there's always something.
Yeah, so communication is, like, the biggest key to any type of relationship, and it's tough sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially, like, on your end, because you got so much shit going on.
Yeah.
To stop and actually have to listen and hear what they have to say.
Yeah, this past 2 years, just this 2023 in general too. Like, there's so much that's happened. Like this past month in general, like we just lost her stepdad on Christmas.
Oh shit!
Like
that's heavy.
Her daughter moved out on the 17th. Like it was like everything is hitting her like
Yeah, it's bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, and I know that like it's wearing on her mentally like heavily. It's like what do you do? Like you just be there. Try to be supportive and just like, take a load off, of her shoulders, but she's such a strong lady that she just kind of like pushes through. Like she'll just be grumpy sometimes, like, what's going on, babe? It's like, nothing. It's like, okay, I know.
Fuck.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to go over here. I'll play Call of Duty for a while. All right. We'll talk in a minute, but relationships are a crazy thing. Her and I, like, we have a very special one. Like that's a very long time. Like we've had so many breakups over the 15 years, and like none since being married, which is great, But like there's been so many times where it's like you just get fed up and you're just like, oh my god, and you like go and say some things that you don't mean. You try to move on or whatever, and it's like it just with Karina and I, it's like it just keeps like just drives you back. I'm just like rubber band, like, yeah, here we are again, you know.
That's good, though. You have that deep connection.
Yeah.
I thought I had my deep connection.
I think everyone does when they get married, right?
Yeah, I mean, but I got together with mine so young.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm a firm believer. Like I read an article where like they did a study and they state like the male brain doesn't fully develop till you're 25.
Okay.
Which means you're gonna flip flop back and forth on what you believe and you know everything.
That's prime age for you to be growing, yeah.
Right, until you hit like 25, and then like your brain stops and you kind of get set in your ways.
Right.
Well, women, it's like 22, 23. They're always ahead of us for some reason. And looking back on mine, I could not be with that woman, not because I have any type of animosity towards her. I don't. I like wish her nothing but the best. Haven't talked to her since the divorce went down. But who I am today doesn't jive with who she is.
Right.
Now she's gone into a different area and she's a different
Maybe
person,
she's grown too.
which I'm sure she has.
Yeah.
I just know that like what I remember and how I am today, I couldn't do it.
Right.
You know, like I am the king at making inappropriate jokes, no matter where the fuck I'm at.
Right.
And her family's like super LDS.
Oh, okay.
So I had to watch what I say. And then if I did say something and it was like a extreme fucking watered down version of what I was really thinking or what I really wanted to say.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like we would talk about it in the car and I get scolded all the way from Lehigh back to West Jordan.
Yeah. And it's just you too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
About,
about a comment you made.
yeah,
with
but
them,
like
too,
how embarrassing I am and
Yeah.
how I embarrassed her and stuff. And I'm just like, okay, I can't do that with anyone.
Right. They got to respect your partner, but that's really hard too, because sometimes you let your partner down, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you'll do some shit, and you're like, I mean, like there's been times like I've done some dumb shit, of course, in my life, you know.
Well, just the career changes. Take
Yeah,
a
exactly.
toll.
You
Take a
know,
big toll.
That's been a massive one too. That was really hard. Coming back here and being like, okay, cool. I was making like 110, 120, and it's like, cool. To the brakes.
Yeah.
Like, we ain't making nothing right now.
Right.
Like, this is trash. What do you got to do?
Right.
You know, like that was a major stressor for the past, 2 years. We're doing fine, but like then the house and like, all this other stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, like it's been like never ending. I'm like somehow still awake and still alive pushing, that's the way it is though. Like you just kind of appreciate what you have is all you can really do and just move slow.
Right.
Take your time.
The other thing I would give you advice on is always be fucking.
Yeah. Okay.
When you stop fucking.
Oh yeah. That brings up drama for sure.
Oh my God,
yeah.
dude. Like not just that, it's so weird because I'll just say making love.
Yeah.
Like that's a special connection.
Be having sex. Yeah.
Yeah, but there always has to be something physical. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not the most physical guy. I don't need it all the time.
Right.
I'm not like that. Those days are over.
Right. Yeah, we're old, dude.
Right. Like if I was in a relationship or in a marriage and I got it like once or twice a week, happy.
You gravy. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when it's cut off,
yeah.
And then your mind starts to wonder, well, what the fuck's going on over there? And then like you become your own worst enemy.
Right.
But then like people go out and cheat and shit.
Right.
Right. So that would be my advice on the marriage.
Yeah.
But
keep having sex. That's a good one.
It's cool though that like you're happy.
Yeah.
Doing
good, man. It's there's always something to improve on, and that's a beautiful thing. Like, yeah, about the music stuff you were talking about too.
Yeah, let's talk about the music.
Yeah, so I just got an MPC, which is like a little beat machine kind of thing,
So I have an MPC media player.
Oh, okay, cool.
I started getting into it, but go ahead and I'll let you tell you.
I just got an MPC, so I've kind of like been diving into that, like making some things. I released an album in like 2021 under Fresh, FRHESH. It's on Apple, it's on iTunes, blah, blah. It's called Rolling Stoned. It's just a bunch of tracks that I had made throughout these years of like just making music, and I've done a lot of really cool things with music too, like opening up for Ice Cube, Busy Bone, like getting to meet like some cool people, smoking out Afro Man and like getting him so high that he forgets his own lyrics.
Well, if you still know these people,
right,
have them like.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd love to have them on.
I never. I didn't really hold on to a lot of connections in that like industry, just like, dudes that are like run venues. So like they get, I'm like, what's up guys? Is that show sold out? You all got any like list spots? Like they'll hook me up. But like, as far as that industry, maybe we could help out.
Hip hop?
Yeah. Hip hop stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun.
For as long as I can remember Eric, he's always been a hip hop dude.
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, like, it's kind of funny too. But
Is it like Bay Area style hip hop? Like
yeah, kind of like that.
So more West Coast than East Coast.
Yeah, more West Coast for sure.
the Bay always had like its own flavor though
Yeah, for sure.
than the rest of the West Coast. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I did on the album actually there was a track called Bryce's Last Line. It was actually about Bryce Lowry too, you know.
Oh,
like,
no shit.
Like rest in peace. But talking about like addiction and things like this, like what people go through. So I mean, like just conceptual music, you know, like just talking about like actual topics, not just, you know, money, bitches, all blah blah blah. I hate that stuff. It's silly. It's more hip hop style, but definitely about weed. You know.
I mean, that's your go-to. Though.
Yeah, it's the go-to. But yeah, it's kind of it's like simmered down. Though, like we were talking about earlier, though, like kind of you got to do it. I have all the stuff just sitting in the house, and it's like it's just chilling. But I still, you know, I still write. I'll still like have like a bar just hit my head. You know, like oh cool, let me write that down real quick.
What are you using for your DAW?
What do you mean?
Like your digital audio workstation?
I run Logic.
Do you?
Yeah, Logic is what I use for this album, but like I mean it's not advanced. I wouldn't say like even my production is good by any means, but like I put it out because I wanted to.
You ever used FL Studio?
Yeah. Fruity Loops is all right.
You want a copy?
Yeah, I love it.
I have an account with them.
Hell yeah, let's get that. Let's get that copy. That'd be awesome.
I'll tell you mine, and I'll be like 100% honest on this deal because this was actually a good story that got me into this genre of music. Okay. So probably ever since you've known me, I've always been like a rock guy. Mm-hmm. I would listen, like if I had to listen to any type of hip hop, I've always been a West Coast hip hop guy.
Right.
Lee, on the other hand, like he's an East Coast guy.
Okay.
Like he's a Wu-Tang fan.
Gotcha.
And like don't get me wrong, I love Wu-Tang. I just never got into that. And I never really got into hip hop in general.
Okay, yeah.
You know, like I'm not a student of the game. I just like what I like and I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, you know. I got invited to, funny enough, my 36-hour Molly guy. Uh-huh. Him and another one of his friends they wanted to go to Get Lucky. Okay. Over at Saltaire.
Yeah.
And
that rave. Yeah.
I've never been a rave guy.
Dude.
Ever.
I went to one time and I was like, this is not me, bro. It smells like Vicks. It's just weird.
So that night I did partake in doing Molly.
Nice. That probably made the experience.
Changed my life forever.
Really?
Because now I love EDM.
Really?
I went out and bought a fucking, like, the 2-mixer turntable.
Okay.
I bought the MIDI player.
Try to dive into it?
Oh, dude, like hardcore.
That's sick. Yeah.
I bought a brand new gaming computer for this shit.
Sick.
And like this was all before the podcast.
Right.
I haven't really done anything with it. I'm still learning FL Studio.
Yeah.
Because I want to shape a sound, and that takes a lot of skill to do it.
Yeah, 10,000 hours to perfect a craft,
something like that. So, and
I mean, you're looking at 10 years,
right? And then I did what typical Sean does, which is squirrel, and then jumped into the podcast thing, and then stopped that, and then got back into it.
Whatever takes your interest, though, like stick with that thing.
Well, right. So this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Among the other couple projects we talked about.
Yeah.
The music thing is on the back burner. I still fuck around with it once in a while because I hear something that catches my attention.
Just get inspired.
So what really caught my attention, like when I'd listen to rock music to this day, what really always catches my attention is like the double bass drum.
Oh, it's so heavy.
Oh, dude, like
so sick.
Every time I hear it, I'm just like, oh my God, get chills, get a boner, like ready to go. Like, so when I switch over to EDM, it's how fast it is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep. And so like I just eventually started falling in love with it, and now I'm like, kind of like the podcasting where I'm like, I could do this.
Yeah.
I know, like,
why don't you have your own music, bro? Like,
why? No, I'm not copying. No, I'm not copying anyone. I'm just trying to learn the goddamn program.
Right.
So then I can start creating my own shit. But I understand how it works. I understand how the program works. Mm-hmm. I get everything. But anyway, part of like this whole thing, as we start to develop, we're actually going to have like a music portion to all this as well.
Yeah.
So it's cool that you still write, because I don't know many people from our neighborhood that, like, I don't talk to many of those guys anymore.
Right.
I don't think any of them are doing anything.
Right. I don't know.
But like Lee, on the other hand, like he's got guys that he's friends with, or friends are friends.
Cool.
that are in the hip hop.
Still making music and stuff?
Oh, still to this day.
Yeah, my buddy Jake just dropped an album under a minute after 8. He just had so he makes a ton of beats like on Fruity Loops. Mm-hmm. He's probably, like one of the best beat producers in Salt Lake. He's awesome. He just dropped an album that he did like collaborating with all these other like local artists too. So he's just the main producer, right?
Yeah.
And like it's a dope album. Like collaboratively, like it's fucking sick. It's awesome to see. Like
it's all from his home.
All here.
Thought of too is Swift that we're having, the hip hop artist that we're going to be having on. He's from the Bay too.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
That's the South Bay Area.
Yeah, so
I love it, man.
A cool episode because I'll be mostly music on that episode.
You want to come in and watch that one?
Potentially. Let's see what's up. That'd be awesome though.
Because I'm all about collaborating with other people. It's just
Yeah.
I feel like the more people you get involved,
Connecting the dots. Yeah.
But anyway, like when we do get the music thing up and going, like I would love to do something with you.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Doesn't have to be EDM. It could be hip hop. Like it could
Yeah.
be a mixture of both, whatever. But I would love to know like your creative process in going into it.
Right, right.
Because like I've heard you freestyle, like even back high school days.
Yeah.
Like you were legit.
Yeah, I could do it.
You
Definitely. I used to
You know what
battle
we
and
need?
stuff and-
We need like a custom intro song.
Oh, I was just saying about like the
You know what I'm
intro
saying?
song.
That
you
would
had
be
here.
dope.
For
We need
Jet-
to do that.
Well, no, that was my original idea, Lee. It's just we went from like kind of slow playing this whole thing to like hitting like the fucking lightning bolt and going. I eventually like will create the actual song to the podcast through that program.
No, I mean, but like having someone drop bars talking about
Oh, it'd be cool.
us and what we're doing in the brand and
Yeah.
like a custom fit
Yeah.
intro.
This is why I love Lee because
Yeah.
he's got all these great fucking
Different
ideas,
ideas
Oh,
for your
dude.
podcast. Yeah. Well, like I was at the DI today because like me and the lady will go shop there often. It's so sick. It's so funny. We found a projector last week, like a dope like Canon projector for $15. So it's like I have a movie theater now.
Oh, no shit.
$15. I'm like, amazing. What?
Fuck yeah.
But I was like, I'm gonna buy Sean something from the DI and just bring it as a gift for the podcast.
I'll tell you what, you get anything like a sign, a picture, a piece of clothing, whatever, dude, I'll hang it up. I'll throw it in. Like,
you got it.
No
You got
shame.
it. Yeah, I thought about it. I was like, that'd be pretty funny. And then like I found so we were in American Fort today because we were rehoming this macaw that was the stepdad's.
Oh yeah, the bird.
So we rehomed it today. He's awesome. I'm hyped for it. He's got a. I looked at it as like it's his like next life because like macaws will live like to be like 90 years old. I didn't know that.
90 human?
Yeah.
No shit.
I was like, what? That's a thing?
I don't know anything about birds.
He's 33 now. And I'm like, dang, like this bird has like 2 more lives at least. Holy cow. Like, and so lining up that, like that's a major commitment, like you're going to have this bird for until you die,
Well, it's like people would rather give up their kids than birds.
Oh, I mean, why wouldn't you? They're
so much easier.
They are, dude, I'm sure. But no, what were you saying?
The music thing. Or no, like if you go and buy me or buy us
gift.
something-
Yeah, the gift. The gift I saw, though, was like some garment, like slippers that you'd go and like get baptized in.
Oh, dude, I would have rocked that shit.
I was like, that'd be so
I
sick.
would have rocked that shit.
Yeah.
Dude.
I know you would have.
Lee, what's your thoughts on that?
Giving gifts for your
Like,
interviewees.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though like it's like random, like there could be like a segment where you're like, and now we've gotten to the gift giving segment. So what we're gonna do is
We'll do like a secret Santa every fucking time.
and all of a sudden,
Here's a question I'll ask you, and I haven't asked this to many people, but being that you've done a lot of different things with your life,
yeah.
what from like listening to the podcast to being on the podcast as a listener and a fan and someone that you and I know each other, what would you like to see on the podcast?
Honestly, this is episode 13. Just keep going.
But I mean, like a segment or a guest or
There's always recommendations. Like, I mean, like the idea is cool. Like other segments, I don't know, like sketch comedy is always hilarious. You know what I mean? Things like that. If you have guests that are interested in doing something like that with you, maybe. I mean, there's so many ways or like things you could do for a podcast that I feel like a lot of individuals they'll do a podcast and it's like more just like cut and dry.
yeah.
So it's all about what you put into it. Like, if you create some elaborate shit for your podcast, that's different. Yeah, like
Right.
anything is different than just like
I really like that sketch comedy. I think
that's
a good idea right there.
like even just doing anything like local ads. You know what I mean? Like, you know, a funny random event that you could just create. You know what I mean? There's so much you could do with a podcast. It's endless if you just take the time to kind of create it. Do you guys watch Tim Robinson at all?
Mm-mm.
He is oh my goodness. He has a TV show on Netflix. It's called I Think You Should Leave.
Oh yeah. That dude is hilarious.
So funny, dude. Like, this is the best comedy
dude,
ever.
You haven't seen that?
Maybe I have. I don't.
Oh my god,
dude! You need to just go in and like it's all sketch comedy.
He has me crying.
Like
no
literally, like dude, dead.
Some
like
of the stuff he does is.
It's so over the top, but like you could just easily do these types of things.
He's on a dating show, and his character on the dating show, all he wants to do is go down this ripcord thing.
Zip line.
Zip line.
There's a zip line at the.
He's not even interested in the girl or nothing.
He just wants to do that.
Yeah,
that's all he wants to do.
It's not all I wanted to do, and all they keep doing is like looping him, like sliding down the zip line. They go to dinner, he shoves his mouth all full real quick, and then runs the zip line. He just does it again.
That's my dog right there.
It's hilarious. It's so good, but like just
like stupid little concepts, but they're like funny.
Just ridiculous, like just random stuff like
Fake
that.
Website that has like urine on pants where it makes it look like it's a print.
Yeah.
But it's this fake website they're all keeping up and thinks of these ideas. It's just
It's so good. And he's actually a really dope skateboarder too, which I did not know.
I never knew that. That's cool.
Yeah, he's like actually sick as fuck. He's from Detroit, like, you know, they're Lions fans, and he's just a rad dude. His buddy is like Sam, I forget Sam something. But they're both hilarious.
So I just thought of something brilliant, Lee. Are you on Facebook at all, Lee?
Not that much.
Okay.
I need to be more active.
No,
so you know how like every once in a while you'll get an update where something's happening? Uh-huh. Bro, let's set up a happening for the podcast where like we'll invite people to like come meet us and sign autographs.
Do a meet and greet?
Yeah. And just see who fucking shows up and we'll record it.
Dude, you could do an actual meet and greet and like go get some discount meats from Walmart and give people meat.
Oh, dude. Drop an 80-20 hamburger bun or a hamburger patty.
Hey, thanks for stopping by.
Here's your gift. Sign the fucking patty. Get out of here.
Dude, like just random stuff like that. Like it's just, I don't know. You could there's a lot of random.
But like, how funny would it be though if we did a meet and greet and no one showed up?
And that'd be the best part.
Like, dude,
I
just staging that, dude, would be the best. Like
little sketch comedy stuff.
And then you just have the cricket sound sample, you know.
There's a lot we can do with that.
what do you think though?
Yeah, something like that.
But like, there's a lot of like locals that are, you know, I mean, there's a lot of local stand-up comedians too. Like
Right.
there's you guys have such a platform, which you should, I mean, just get out there, do that.
I just want a variety of people.
Yeah, 100% across the spectrum. All these like types of randos. Like you got professionals. You have obviously some people that are some drug users that have been on.
I just had one
for like 36 hours. It's a long
Right.
time. Get artists, creatives, you know, things like that. Just there's a lot you guys can do with it. I'm stoked to be a part of like the early stages of it.
Yeah.
Number 13 is not many.
Well, I tell everyone, you know, that comes on the show, with the exception of my 36-hour friend, who I don't know if I'll have on the show ever again. We'll see. I want everyone to come back at different times. You know, let's hear what's going on. The progress.
Yeah, I'll come back next year.
Perfect.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, but
there could even be like, did you guys ever watch? So GGN was Snoop Dogg's like YouTube show he did.
Yeah, that was a good show.
That show was amazing, and he had like this thing called Stormy Fronts, where there's just like a hot chick, and she just like do the weather, but it was just like she's like in a bikini, you know, hilarious. But like segments like that create like they make a lot for, I feel like, a podcast. I mean, like there's so many people that have a voice these days.
It separates you.
Yeah, exactly. You got to separate from the pack. So like you have to do additionals. You have to do something on top of. There's so many people, like just like there's so many realtors, there's so many rappers, there's so many of this.
It's like what's separating you?
How do you stand out? You know, like there's realtors that are like
comedy on like the sponsors for the show. You know.
Yeah, doing like having an ad for Jimmy John's or something like that, and you're just like stuffing your mouth with one of their sandwiches. Like.
Right.
It's just good making a mess. Like this, anything you can do anything with it. Just ride with it. That's what we're talking about.
By the way, this episode is brought to you by Honda Racing and Smart Water.
Yeah, and coffee. Yeah, I love it though.
Cool. I want to collaborate with you though, like outside of this too.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the music thing's very, very appealing.
Yeah, it's fun. I love making music, man. It's been really fun.
Like you've always been a funny dude too, so I would love to pick your brain.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Help us develop some other things too.
Oh, dude, some skits. Oh my gosh, like there's like pranks and stuff, dude. We did one prank. This will be like the last thing. We'll wrap up on that.
You're good.
So this prank is fucking genius, and I can't even believe that it worked, and we pulled it off. But back in the day, you would like enter these sweepstakes. So at Jordan Landing, there's a sweepstakes, like there's like a box, and you write like your name and your phone number, like, and they pull the ticket, you win the sweepstakes, whatever. Well, in the Jordan Landing, they had these 2 Polaris snowmobiles.
Okay.
So we're like, okay, cool. So we go, and it's like a big group of us. This wasn't all my idea at all. It was mainly Tyler Beck, Fuzz, I love you, but I got to tell this story because it's amazing. It's the funniest thing I've probably ever seen personally.
My only interaction with him has always been funny.
Dude, he's straight comedy. He's amazing. But we go there and we're writing down like people's information from the boxes, the clear box. Nowadays, it's like they don't do that.
Right.
So we're writing it down. They're like, hey, congratulations, you're one of the finalists for the Give Me the Polaris contest.
Oh, so you were calling people.
Called them.
Oh, fuck it.
Our movie started at like 6:30. We're like, you got to be here at 8:55 on the dot. The person who yells, give me the Polaris the loudest is going to be leaving with the Polaris. We called all these people, like left them voicemails and stuff like this. Our movie gets out. We come to the lobby and we're hanging out. We're like, there's no way this is going to fucking work, dude. There's no way. And
every single one of the motherfuckers showed up, I'm sure.
No, we're sitting there and like this, I'm like sitting like where the ice cream like area is. It's like kind of separated. And this lady comes up, can I borrow this chair? And she's like this old lady. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Of course. Takes it and just drags it to the middle. And I'm like, oh no.
Oh.
Not her. She stands on the chair with her help of her old husband and is like, give me the Polaris. Just looks around.
Was she the only one that fell for it, though?
She's, give me the Polaris. Yells it again. Everyone's like, the fuck is this lady doing? Why is she standing on a chair in the middle yelling, give me the Polaris? All of a sudden, like a bat out of hell, this guy fucking kicks through the doors in full Polaris gear, helmet, leathers, everything.
Oh, just like lived it.
Runs right up to that lady. He's like, give me the Polaris. Like he's yelling, has like the modular helmet flipped up. Dude, has it flipped up. And all of a sudden now the old man is yelling, no, give us the Polaris. Like they're yelling at each other now. The manager comes by and he's like, what is going on? like, well, we got called about the sweepstakes. We got to win these Polaris. And the guy's like, sorry, guys, that's not a thing. So sorry. The best part is the guy just like flips his visor down and storms out like, in his all leather gear. But skits like this, like if you could film that, oh my gosh, like that's next level.
Lee, we got to bring Eric back.
It'd be so fun. We got to do it.
So it's funny enough, though. Funny you like brought up the pranking thing because that's another like thing that we're definitely going to get into.
Yeah, it's just comedy.
So like I have my ideas.
Be careful though. People are getting shot these days, bro.
Oh no, I've
you seen that?
But that adds to it though. It turns into like
about the guy that got shot like in the food court.
Yeah,
Did you see that? Yeah.
I was like, I mean, good for that other guy.
And he got away with it too.
Yeah.
He didn't get charged.
Like it starts off as a prank.
Yeah.
And then it escalates into like an epic story.
Yeah.
Like I would love that shit.
Yeah, dude, that's over the top. Like that's the thing, it's so hard to like get it right. You know, we did it another time with Send Me to St. George. He was working at Jerry's board shop and Little Caesars. So people would come
over yeah, okay.
Send me to St. George. And you were just yelling next door. We can hear it because we're at work at Jerry's and like they just come by and yell it and then they just run off because no one knows what they're talking about. It's like, okay, maybe.
Oh, man.
So funny. Yeah, there's tons of avenues you can go with it. Just get creative, man. It's funny.
I actually wanted to do a segment like where I would do the news, but I'd be dressed up like a news guy, and it would be straight politics, but I'd be making fun of both sides.
Right.
Like, this is how fucking stupid you are.
That's
you know what I mean?
Political.
Politics is always like gasoline on fire.
Yeah, it's so volatile. You can't.
So do you remember back when I used to argue with you guys on Facebook?
I mean, I remember some comment exchanges, but yeah.
Most of those attacks were coordinated attacks.
Okay.
So actually, I'll tell you the names off.
Yeah.
But me and like 3 or 4 other people, we would this is how stupid and ridiculous our lives were. we knew like just saying the word Trump was like
volatile,
an iron rod of just volatility.
Dude, seriously.
So we used to get on early in the morning and be like, all right, boys, what are we going to go? Who are we going to attack? What are we going to attack?
You're just bullying.
Oh, dude. This is like coordinated troll attacks. Like, this was beautiful. I'll tell you this right now. 60 or 70% of the shit that I would say, I didn't fucking believe. I just wanted to piss someone off.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Shit.
Like,
trolling.
So Colby told me, like, Colby said this to me the other day. He's like, you're the one that doesn't start the shit. You're the one that fucking puts the gasoline on fire.
Yeah, just a little more.
Yeah, just a little bit more. Let's turn this temperature up a little bit.
Just a little bit.
So anyway, we can end it on that, dude. Thank you for coming in.
I appreciate you, man. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Definitely want to have you back. I definitely want to stay connected.
Have a part 2.
Yeah, let's do more. I would love to contribute what I can. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I've done a lot in this little Salt Lake City scene, so maybe it's something like we can collaborate regularly. I think it'd be cool.
Also, though, too, like the people that gave you like your start with your music or your clothing line.
Yep.
Like if reach out to them, see if they want to come on.
Yeah.
like it'd just be cool
You need to reach out to your printer people just to start up our stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just shoot me an email, whatever. I'll line you up. It's easy.
Okay.
It's not even a problem. That's Spilt Ink. So I mean, they're awesome. My boy Jeremy runs it, but yeah, he's too busy to respond to emails. So we're gonna go to like the people below that handle orders, and we'll get you easy peasy.
I'm just saying in general, like if you have anyone, again, like I'm just giving the platform.
Be on here.
You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, for sure. I got ideas for you for days.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, Lee, you got anything else you want to add?
Come on, Lee.
That's about it, man.
Hey, man. Well, I appreciate you guys.
Great having you on here, and we'll get you back on, man.
It's been fun, man. I love it.
We'll
appreciate
do
what you're
some
doing here.
collabs.
Okay. Well, everyone stay tuned. More to come.
Stay tuned.
All right. Peace.